for the sun. Couldn't be here without the sun. Wouldn't be possible, right? We couldn't grow food. And thank you for creating your son, you, the word. So Hokodash, thank you for Hokodash. Thank you for the life without flesh. Have to be in it, but be not of it. That's what your son said. It would be possible to be with you, Father, because we've all sinned. We've all fallen short. You're the only sovereign and pure, without darkness, pure light, without sin, without blemish. So thank you for first the clock and the moon that separates the light, that separates the day from the dark from the light, right? The day from the night. So thank you for the clock, the celestial firmament. And we'll talk a little bit about that. And I know that most people are very Babylonian. Baal, I like to worship Baal Grove and tree, and we're supposed to be, or Gentile, grafted into the vine, right? So from the house of David, he was rooted, the offspring, like a shoot, you know. He sprang out of Judah, right? From the house of David. So Leo in the celestial clock. So thank you for the celestial firmament, so I can not be fooled by these modern Babylonian Baal worshippers. Worship when I'm supposed to worship, when I'm supposed to celebrate. I'm not supposed to idolatry, serve our eyes, serve the dirt. I'm not supposed to love the dirt, agape. We're supposed to agape you, Hokodash, the word without flesh, not flesh. You sent your son, the word became flesh, the spirit became Hokodash, became flesh. That was the Hamashiach. And he did that to fulfill, so that we don't celebrate. But many are called, but enter by the wide gate and go to hell. Most people go to hell. Few, oligos. He said, fear not. Right? Little flock, tiny flock, oligos. A little flock. Fear not, little flock. For it's your Father's pleasure to give you the kingdom of heaven, right? Kingdom of God is heaven, what they call heaven, but heaven isn't above our head, and that's the problem with the Baal worshippers. Baal is the worship of stars and the sun and the moon, lunar worship of the grove and the tree gods and the, remember, Kronos, the Saturnalia, the equinox. They started their Samhain for better harvest in the spring for the lunar sex. It was all about sex and orgy and giving oath to their gods of the Saturnalia, and the, again, grove, this tree, Baal and the grove, that sun worship, Baal, most people are Babylonians, new mystery, psycho. They are. Their tongue is alien. There's no such thing as aliens. Alien is a word. Father is the word. Better not tell me Father comes from the sky. Father's not in the sky. Heaven's not in the sky. The kingdom of heaven is within. The kingdom of God. That is what you call heaven. Remember, Paul said we must go through much thlipsis, tribulation, to receive that kingdom, that crown. So there's a blasphemous nation, Israel. That's not the Israel of Scripture. That's an abomination. Blowing people up with Netanyahu as a warrant for his arrest. Yeah. Burn that flag. Burn the American flag too. Burn them all, the flags. Flags are, you give your oath to a flag, get out of here. You're gone. Goodbye. I'll sup with vipers. Remember, he said, you know, I was a snake, the Gentile Messiah, the King of Israel. And then he let Joe Biden. Before you let me in. And then he let Joe Biden. A little prelude to what was coming, huh? Progonosco. There you go. $3 billion more to Israel, and we've got the poorest people. This is free fall. This is what free fall looks like. This is what an abomination. This is what a corporation that supports Israel. Another abomination. America is Israel. Remember? Let's not fool ourselves. Not on this channel, we don't. Why would he? Father's watching. He's inside us, not in the sky. Israel is scripture. That's the used to could. Gaza is the Anak. The land of Anak, where the Anunnaki people think they come from the sky too. So, Sky Daddy Jesus. Sky Daddy. Their Baphomet worship. The triangle up, triangle down, you know, crosses, triangles, star worship, Baal, as I was saying. The Star of David. Fake World War II Jews. Those weren't Jews. They're spiritual, inly Jews. And Jew is not Israel. That's Jews and Gentiles. That's from the house of Aaron, or the Levitical high priest of Aaron. Remember? Levitical laws, we're not under the law. Sabbatical laws, we're not under the law. Dietary laws, we're not under the law. Celebrations, we don't celebrate. They don't have, remember? Thank you for the Son, for the forgiveness of the sins of the world, for standing against Israel. The fake Jews. Oh, bam! It warned us in scripture about the ones from the north, the Nordic. Remember? Kazakhstan, all the stands were Dan, that's Dan, but Daniel was a magi. Look up, for your redemption draweth nigh. For forgiveness, the Redeemer. They don't have, no, they ripped the Hamashiach down from the tree. Remember, crosses are Satanists. So anybody who wears a cross is a Satanist. That involves all these religious people with their cross. The Hamashiach was not hung from a cross. Do you know paganism? Satanism? By his love, those beyond his love and against the veil will never enter the kingdom of God. Do you even know what the veil is? That's the apocalypse. Apocalypse is the word to lift the scales, the veil. So, welcome to the apocalypse. Welcome to Revelation. What do you know about Revelation? What do you know about the word love? Do you love your dog like you love your truck, or you love your wife's titties like you love God? Those are different kinds of love. So what do you mean love? It doesn't say love anywhere in the text. Don't speak on anything in that text, the scripture, unless you use the correct dialectus glossa tongue, and there's no such thing as speaking in tongues. So don't come in here with your you think you know unless you define. Remember, he said, I am the Alathea, I am the Hados, I am the Alathea, I am the Harizo. Yeah. I am, be comforted, Peter. Before Abraham was, I am the Alpha, I am the Omega. So what are you talking about? Yes, you tell them my name is I am, he said. So who do you speak? Love? What is love? You don't know what love is. Get away from me. You occultist, Satanist, slime ball. What are you, Christian, Catholic, Protestant, Presbyterian, Calvinist, Mormon, Catholics, Satanists, Catholicism, the worship of Jesus Christ, the sun god, Mithra, the one that warp speed, Israel, man in here waving his flag, giving his oath to a flag. Remember, Trump sells Bibles. Well, pledges allegiance to the flag. So what do you know about love? There's no love in the scripture. It doesn't say love, you child. Don't come in here speaking like you know anything about the text. You don't know anything about what you're talking about. It never says love. It says agape, A-G-A-P-E. So don't put love in this. Go somewhere else and kick rocks. Okay, he's the Petra, not some 33-degree Mason like their 33 spine, you know, Jurassic raising the Jed spine with their swamp rituals and their Star Wars, and Luke Skywalker and Anakin Skywalker had Wookiee with an Ewok, you know. Oh, wait. Anakin Skywalker had a threesome with Chewbacca, and they had Wookiee with an Ewok, and we got big feet, right? Take your 2 big feet, get out of here. You're an idiot. He said he would release everything as soon as he got his release. Uh-oh. The release. The semen samples. Remember? The C. See what I'm saying? Yeah. Get out of my face. You know what I'm saying? The person here acting like the veil says something about veil and love. And what is it with your psycho babble? Either speak the text or get away from me. Scream American babble, tree worship, tree, Baal, Babel, Jezebel. I don't want to hear Baal. Go back to eating your Taco Bell. Ring, ding, dong. Or your ho. You want to know where all the hoes are at? Ask Santa. That's Jesus Christ. Remember, Krampus. 3 kids in the fire. Each kid throw the Yule log on the fire. That's the worship of the Yule wheel. Krampus, Santa, Jesus Christ, Satan, the one that Donald Trump has his house decorated. Are you a bunch of ignorant fools? Yes, you are. You've been fooled, spun on a ball, a jot, and you're spinning at 1,040 miles an hour. Blow it up with some helium, and you're spinning. I wonder what you talk like. Probably like Martians. You know, and you put helium and talk like Marvin. You're going to turn in green or something, getting sick. Want to puke, vomit tsunamis or something. Waves of crap. Sorrows. That's what's going to happen, right? Don't fall asleep, he said. He'd come like a thief in the night. Remember? Look up, for the redemption draweth nigh. The light. Go to the light. Remember Poltergeist? Don't go to the light. I'm afraid of light. I'm afraid of light. I'm afraid of light. Go into your TV. Go watch your television. Throw your TV away. Throw your microwave away. Use the microwave. Get away from me. Good. Father, get him out of here. Get him up against the wall. All right, good stuff. Anyway, so we're about 1 solar flare, 1 coronal mass ejection. Speaking of, it's electric, and there's no more speaking on the web, getting caught up in the World Wide Net. Who's a Robin Williams? That's Happy. Pappy. I think his name is Pappy. He's still with us. Go look up. It's that you can't fool. Nobody can pull off a pedo like Robin. Well, he's another island boy. He's been to the island too. He's been to Trump's island. It's not Epstein's, it's Trump's island. Stop lying to yourself. Your tower worshiping islands. Island boy. EpiPen island boys. You know what happens when you oxidize epinephrine? You get lizard people. There's no lizard people. Fear and loathing in Las Vegas. How about that? You got to include the Clintons. EpiPen, get it? What happens when you oxidize epinephrine? Oh, you get... There you go. You get chrome like a... There you go. Like a ball on a trailer, huh? All right, here's with more of their ball worship. Their shiny ball worship. Their sun god, Apollyon. Shiny balls like chrome. How about silver and gold? Nickel. How about rusty dustpans driving down the street that are electric? Rusting because they don't have enough nickel. What do you know about nickel? What do you know about copper, like time travel? Notice whenever they reference time travel, they have copper like a serpent, like a snake, like the Halo, like a little silly game where you float, the old Sky Daddy. Dee. Oh, more angels, angelos. Notice halos, angels. Those are Satan. Anytime you see a halo, that's Satan. Well, and his minions, little one eye, you know. Cyclops, she's the one I love. Yeah, you Jezebel, get away from me. You don't speak this dialect, it's alien to you. There's no such thing as aliens. There's a word. Oh, Marvin the Martian, here we go again. We're blowing up jots and we're spinning them at 1,040 miles an hour. We live on them on planet Big Feet, right? Hairy Big Feet. If man evolved from apes, why are there still apes? Grape ape. Remember that? Remember Kool-Aid? Oh, yeah. Not Randy the Macho Man Savage snapping to his Slim Jim. Drinking the Kool-Aid and slamming the hopium, are you? You got the Q Plus now, don't you? Yep, Pizzagate, Bill Wide. Oh, making you sick? Yep, like the sticker. Stand in line, get a cheat test or a free test. Did you get the sticker? Or you been a good sticker? Remember in school you get a sticker. If you were good, you did what you told, right? So you've been enslaved by the television and told you lies to your eyes. Did you pick a side, red or blue? Which one are you? You're not welcome here. We don't do red or blue. You mix those to get can't keep it in the pants, keep it in the family kind of people. Purple. Yeah, remember? Rape ape. Mad evolved from apes while they're still apes. Evolution. And, yep, you know what happens when evolution comes? Extinction. They go hand in hand. Like well, like Agape, right? Father and the Son. So hallelujah. There we go. What goes better than that? Nothing. Only thing that's pure, everything else comes from the darkness, created from the dirt. So what's good to you? I don't know. Peanut butter and jelly? I don't know. Jam, jelly, jam on it. You can jam out of here. Remember Big Feet? No such thing as Big Feet. So Space Jam. Ever slam dunk, ball worship, Marvin the Martian? You don't get it, do you? Maybe been pickled or something. There you go. Well, hey, that takes time, right? There's no quick fix, got to be put through the brine, through the fire, the trial. That's the true aletheia. That's the truth. It's not in you. So let's go back to the conversation here about this sun. Thank you, Father, for creating the sun. Without the sun, we wouldn't be here. And without your son, we couldn't be with you. So thank you, Father, for who deleted your chat? Probably you too. Did you say something stupid? Stupid is nice. I'm not moderating so far. You might have said something. I just wouldn't moderate your chat. I just moderate you out of here, put you in timeout till the light came on. Go outside. It's an adult only chat. To be 7, to its maturity, you gotta be older than 7. You gotta be an adult to be in here. It's an adult chat only, not for children. Looking through the channel gets unmonetized. Well, I didn't monetize it. It's just what they said. It's something. I don't know what they do to it, but it says it's for adults only. You're somebody's kid, so if you act like a child, I'll throw you out of here until the lights come on outside. This is an adult-only stream. I don't sup with vipers or pigs, people in government, or swine. I don't eat pork. You can eat pork, but I don't eat pork. A lot of things I don't eat, but eat your kids. All right, so moving on. One solar flare, one coronal mass ejection from that sun, and we go blot it out. Or what happens normally in a Yuga cycle is one of these magma chambers gets excited like a pimple, like a, crazy teenagers, testosterone and all the weird things going on, estrogen when they're young or little girl, bam, the old pimples pop, and that happens to our sun. And it blots out, and then we go into a nuclear winter, not by a bomb. It's over Baghdad, not that kind of, nope, not the war machine. I'm talking about the sun. It's not you, it's not CO2, it's the sun, remember? What's going on here in the Yuga cycle, and they ride the cycle. So you can't talk about the sun without talking about shapes and Kermit the Frog. No, Gong Show. Yeah, it's not a game show. Gong Show. So, yeah, if you're into some of this drug push drugs on me, push your gene edited. It's not cannabis. That's gene edited. You smoke the dragon pen or something. Hit your glycol. There you go. More of your oil. He said I have oil. That's the wrong kind of oil, you idiot. So anyways, the dragon, the electric dragon dick with embalming fluid in it. Yeah, just here, take a tooch off that, Cheech. Puff the magic dragon lives by the sea. Yeah, whatever. Grow your own herbs in your windowsill. Tell the government, stick to the pigs, people in government. Anybody who supports the government's a pig licker. So we're not to sup with vipers. We don't break and eat bread or break bread with pig lickers. People in government are people who support the government. Anybody who supports suppression or keeping people, taxing people, that's an abomination. That's been going on. Remember, they threw 2%. They threw tea in the harbor with 3% of the populace. Now these people sit down and lay down like a little bitch, like a dog. Female dog just hunkered down, little ball like shelter in place, curl up in a ball like Cinnabon, Bun, Sugar Daddy. So I'm the big dog in here. Well, whatever it is, who it is, Father created me who I am. So I didn't do this. If you don't like it, go to church or something. That's where Satan resides. Remember, in churches, temples, crosses. That's Satan. Paganism. You know anybody who has a cross? That's Satanism. You know anybody who worships Jesus Christ? That's Satan. You know anybody celebrates? They're a Satanist. You know anybody who thinks it's 2025? They're a Satanist. It's not 2025. There's no such thing as speaking in tongues. No such thing as rapture. No such thing as planet. Where the hell do you get the word planet? Hell's not below your feet and heaven's not above your head. See, maybe you might want to leave and get out of here because I won't argue with you. You just go by the world. And you do what the world does. That's not, all those are incorrect. And none of those are, there's no Lord, there's no Christ. Those are words never written in the text. Why do you add? He said that's the word pervert in Hebrew. No, that's English is pervert, but Hebrew is froward. You're perverting his word. And he said, don't even add a single period. They must be on their period or moon. I don't hear many ladies say that, but their moon, their cycle, it's all a cycle. They ride the death cycle. Welcome to the reset. Welcome to Revelation. So you're atheist. Oh, you're a Satanist is what you are. Well, you're a Satanist. If you reject the Hamashiach, you're a Satanist. Catholics are Satanists. Remember, they go after Satan. The Hamashiach was hung from a tree, not on a cross. So I follow the word. That's the creator. So you'll enjoy your gnashing of teeth if you don't give glory and you reject the only way to the Father is through the Son, then you're a Satanist. Atheist, my ass. You're a clown is what you are. You're a vessel of wrath fitted for destruction, because if you deny, remember, if you deny me in front of the world, your friends and your Father, I'll deny you in front of my Father. So you're just what most people go to hell. You can't even define the word hell. Fallon, Jimmy Fallon, some talk show. So, you know, all rich people and famous people go to hell. Like, well, most people, they can define hell. That's the funny thing about you. You probably can't. So go ahead, define the word abyss for me. Fallen. No, it's fall out. He's fallen out. It's fallen. Just messing with him. My ride is all messed. I hit with a grenade, so he must not play any real games. You got any state police below up trying to shoot you in the, you know, hit you in the face with grenades and tear gas you and for standing up to this disgusting, filthy corporation because they're attacking you and your son and everybody in your community. And well, the government does it, right? Who's the biggest drug dealer? The government. Who funds more war than anybody else? Killing machine. Government. Who kills more people than government? Religion. So what's up, atheists? You're a Satanist. You're an occultist in your own little cult, aren't you? Oh, we're atheists. You're vessels of wrath fitted for destruction from the foundation of the world. You're just here as an NPC, non-player character. Remember, I ain't got no skin in the game. You can leave now. These are my two witnesses. Have anything else? I'm not going to try to bring you to Jesus. That's not possible. He said there is no such thing as Jesus. There's no J's in Hebrew or Greek, so there's no Jesus. Father said, if I didn't call out to their hearts to seek after me, not one of them would. So don't worry about it, atheists. Nobody in here is going to try to bring you to some kind of three-letter G-O-D, God. That's not a word. That God, there's no God. Father, the creator, the most high I am. These people are children. So I remember when my son came to me and he was about 9 or 10, maybe a little bit right around there. He said, Dad, speaking with this atheist, and they know more about the word than people who are Christian, Dad. Why is that? I said, well, son, we know he doesn't dwell in temples made by hands. We're supposed to have a relationship with the Father. Are you being sarcastic? Kodiak, are we like a bear or something in Alaska? Are you like a can of chew? So careful what you say in here. It's an adult-only stream. So I'm not an atheist. This guy told me I was an atheist. I'm not an atheist. Atheist, my son was telling me, Dad, these people know more about the word than, because they're hiding behind a word. What's your, because they're what do you mean? Animosity? Are you an atheist too? Most people go to hell. Father only loves his bride. This many people compared to this many people enter through the wide gate and go to hell. Like you probably couldn't even define the word hell. You don't even know what the word abyss is. You're probably in your own hell. I can give you a little hint. It's not below your feet, and I gave you another hint. It's not 2025. If you think either of those, you're probably an occultist, a Satanist, in your own little hell because you have no definition. You're a Babylonian psycho Jezebel is what you are. You go after Baal worship. Whether you realize we're not even supposed to celebrate or worship anything. This is why this person thinks I'm hiding behind some label of atheist. As I said to my son, they're just hiding behind the label, son. Remember, because they know that he doesn't dwell, but they haven't read that much. Because remember, you're not supposed to hide that light. You're supposed to share it. Don't boast because you know. But woe if you don't go share the light and he is the light. You seem like a fun guy. No, I'm not. I don't do psilocybins. I don't. I'm not the kind of guy that's left put in the dark and fed a bunch of shit. So I'm not. Hey, he said, remember, light. I am the light. Come out of the light. Horizo. I separate the dark from the light, the day from the night. I pull them to my light. That's the word horizo. Predestination is actually pro horizo. It's in Romans 8:29. But nobody likes to read the word. Everybody likes to go after some religion nonsense like America that makes no sense. So I can't stand it, and I stand Father, not with these people. Remember, you can't serve two masters. Stand. Most people on their knees like slaves, indebted by debt. A nation that's free. My ass, more people locked up in America than all other countries combined. We love Jesus. Well, love is the word agape, and Jesus is Satan, the sun god Mithra, birthed on December 25th. Is that what you're saying, Grandma's boy toy? You love Jesus. Love is the word agape. I think you phileo. You jerking your own chain, pornea, pulling yourself. There's no J's in Hebrew or Greek, so who the hell is Jesus? So does anybody want to give me the definition there of the word abyss, hell? So Brad, animosity, didn't answer anything. And then island of Alaska. Okay, hold on, Kodiak. I'll be back 1 second to talk some Alaska with you. Maybe we'll talk some Homer or some Deadfoot or some Juno or something like that. But we'll talk about, how about them lights? I bet you they were pretty good. We're not supposed to be seeing lights, Kodiak. You know what I'm saying? At the, remember, northern, the forecast up there, Aurora Borealis forecast. Never mind. I'll get back to you. Hold on a second. Let me get rid of these other idiots. You were raised around Mexicans. Outstanding. Me too. I was raised around 70% Hispanic people, or Latino, whatever you want. That's all. Some of it's, they were here before America spoke Spanish, before they ever spoke English in this country. So it is truly the most indigenous language at the modern times, because you guys don't even understand the cycles. We're just talking about cycles here. We'll go back to, no, but you can. Wouldn't, not me. I don't. I'm a veteran. I know people have PTSD, and maybe they took a little too many, a little bent over backwards, or severe depression. And I'm not giving any medical advice. People use microdose and things. It's just not for me. So if it's natural, I'm not against anything that's natural. Did cavemen go to heaven? That's a pretty good. Did you answer my? You got to answer my question. Answer any more questions, or hold on, Grandma's boy. Didn't I ask you a question, Grandma's boy? You got to answer my question first. You guys can't keep up. I'm talking to Kodiak about Alaska now, since you guys aren't keeping up. What's going on there, Ziggy? Ziggy, look, I just asked it again I just asked it again, and nobody will. You know what I'm saying? They ask questions to me, but they don't want to answer any questions that I tell. Thanks for coming in, Ziggy. It's all right. People have a deaf ear. Remember, I prayed to Father before I came in here. You know what I'm saying? All right, hey, go do it, Kodiak, get it. But we're not. Hey, I don't know what you're doing. Listen to the word. If you live in Alaska, I know what it's like. I lived up there. Permanent fund dividend. I've been up there, trained up there, did some military. Lived up there for a while. But go get it. This is the time. Don't go. You don't have that mindset when you live up north like that. So I ain't got to say nothing. They already know. Oh. Okay, you live in Louisiana. We'll go get it either way. You're in Louisiana. Cool, down there in the swamp, huh? No. Nice. Well, but have you never lived in Alaska? You've never lived in Alaska? You just named it after an island? You're an island boy? Oh man, careful about mentioning islands. Wrong island. How about Mili'i, the oldest fishing village on the Big Island? Wrong island. Remember, Trump's Island. It's Trump's Island, not Epstein's Island. It's Trump's Island. Why do you think he's got all these destroyers? He's got to cover his ass down there. It's more than that. You know, there's a lot more of that. Keep going a little bit further to the east of Venezuela. You know, go on and you'll figure out what's really going on. So, and then the island. Remember, that's where EpiPen Island's at, man. I get to bring their boys and girls to the island. So they're island boys and girls. All of them. They're rich characters. You know, Diddy. They act like he's locked up. He's on the island right now. Would you ever bang a Thailand chick? Here's Grandma's boy going asking more questions. You can get moderated out of here. Grandma's boy, define the word hell. Give me the definition. If you get it wrong, that's okay. It's the word abyss. I won't throw you out of here. But why you ask about a Thailand chick? Father created one race, the human race. There's no races. I don't see races. Fuck you if you're a racist. I don't do races. I'm a veteran. I don't see color. Man's got my 6. You think I care how much melanin is in his skin or the shape of his eyes? Father only put melanin in our skin or shaped our eyes because how close he put us towards the equator, equatorial region. Further away or closer to. That's it. Otherwise, get the fuck away from me. There is no red, black, blue, brown, red, black. I don't do colors. Colors. You're separated. That's what you do. Red and blue, Democrat, Republican. I seen that shit growing up. I grew up in the concrete jungle. Born on the streets of Los Angeles, the melting pot, as the fucking minority. As I said earlier, somebody said, I grew up around Mexicans. That was you, wasn't it? They were Grandma's boy. We talk about Mexicans, and now if I bang a Thailand chick, do you have any memory of what you're talking about? Ask you what the word abyss is. That's word hell. Could you find that? Or I'm going to throw your ass. I won't. Ziggy will do it for me. See that wrench? We throw moderators out here if they get silly with me. On number 10, socket their ass. Get out of here, loser. You always lose that number 10 socket, right? See ya. No, hey, we've had to do it. Not very often. Couple, few, not too many. Many are called, but few are chosen. It happened a few times. But anyways, answer my damn question. I'll ask a pin. And then, Kodiak, you gonna answer my question? Or you just an island boy? Plan to my dad. Oh man, you should get up there, Ziggy, if you can. Oh, now you're gonna push drugs on me. Thailand chicks, get the fuck out of here. Drug pusher. Would you bang a chick in Thailand? This is starting to sound like a movie. What was that movie with the dude who was like from Bangkok or no, whatever it was? It was the guys where they went to Vegas, snorted a bunch of, I can't remember. I didn't watch the whole thing. I just in and out. My son was watching it. I don't know. It was whatever. It's the one they go there and they get all weird out and they do some crazy stuff in Vegas, and I don't know. I don't watch enough TV. I threw my television away in the 91, 2 or something like that when I threw my microwave away. So you have to refresh my memory. But there's it's silly. I was kind of caught my attention for a little bit, but I think they make a couple and they made a sequel or something to it. So, but anyways, Thailand or something, they go somewhere and then I don't know what the hell. It's some weird ass plot, but it's hard to follow. I didn't watch it enough to try to, it's kind of all over the place. Drugs and Vegas and I don't know. You probably know which movie if you watch movies. Hangover, there we go. That was it. Dude, that movie was crazy, dude. They make some. I can't. Hey, look, I got to talk about this too, Z. I can't be on the internet. It's starting to wear me out, guys. I figure what's bothering me. It's being not so much here too, you know, just the whole thing. And that's why I was trying to separate. Like when I get online and I have to do things, I have to sell things or whatever. It's the way my life is. I'm not there quite. I'm almost there. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to. I could just sit here and do nothing. And shut my gates and stay here for 15 years and shut this internet off and pay my internet, you know, bill up for a couple years, you know, on my phone and my insurance and just shut my gates. And for 10 years, I'd be fine. I don't need to go anywhere. And a food, I do have dug enough down towards the water now. And I have a well drilling kit if I need, you know, I don't need this. And I think, you know, but what I'm getting at is that I'm tired of going online and I'm tired of seeing all this fake AI shit. It's just too much, man. They're blurring the freaking lines on everything. on what is real and what is not. And a lot of it's just everything. It's just like a lot of short memes of everything. It's just nothing is real anymore. They put this whole other curtain up in front of everybody, and I see it. It's like with this, you know, it's like the snap thing that they did to everybody. You know, fund it, pull it back. You know, everything is just so far to the. It's just a circus. It's an absolute freaking circus. So you're not going to be able to tell, like I said, what they have all their with their tech. They're going to be able to fool you. They already have you captured and can put you anywhere, any place, anytime. Any one of us. So you're not going anywhere and having any anonymity. You're not hiding because Father's inside you. That should be, if you don't take anything from what I say for the rest of the time you're here, and Father will do it to you, not me, but, you know, listen to what I just said, you know. They're bringing this is what the collapse looks like. This is what the collapse America, when you can't pay your poorest people, but you can keep sending money to build a ballroom, to send more money to Israel, to what's his latest, to be, you can't fund the poorest, but you can send everybody a $2,000 check. This is a circus show. You understand what I'm saying here? We can't feed our own people, but we'll keep funding war in every other country. 180 countries, all of them, in 1,000+ military bases, not just the ones you see on television. So you better get it through your head. This is the collapse. You know what I'm saying? Shut the fuck up, idiots. Don't tell me how to do this shit. I don't want to hear about it. You don't even know what define government, jack off. If you want to know, how about you start fucking defining what comes out of your face pie hole? There are people do qualify for this shit. You don't just pull everybody off of it, dumb fuck. That's not human-like. You fucking being human, you get your ass tossed right out of here. Fuck you, you government-supporting piece of shit. If you're one of those bootlickers, pig lickers, that's not Christ-like. He said don't sup with swine, pig licker. I don't eat pork. Porky fucking pig. And get out of here, you little animated fucking Easter bunny bullshit fucking... I'm going to dangle a goddamn carrot in front of you, get you chasing that. You probably one goddamn fucking paycheck away from the fucking streets, or make it rain in here, bitch. Fucking this adult-only stream. Look where you stepped in. You don't have any humanity. He said about hands on the stick. So sick. Oh, yeah, look at where you putting your hands. You reach around, no gasoline, no Vaseline. Yeah, I'm bringing the fire, bitch. Don't start stroking it. You're going to catch yourself on fire. The word is pornea. Self-driven, auto-autonomous, serving your eyes. Stop serving your eyes, asshole. Use your fucking head. People become poor because the government fucking taxes, fucking tariffs everybody. The people of the fucking pay, not the distributor, not the shipper, but that's how people get it, because they're the ones who've been paying the tariffs. And Congress makes the tariffs, not a president at a fucking executive level. You fucking piece of shit. You don't know anything about your own country. I'm a constitutionalist. I took a note to the Constitution, not to pieces of shit like you in this country, you stupid fucking American. Faith in truth is getting awfully political and judgmental. I can be judgmental, dumbass. That's what the word says, okay? And this isn't politics. History's being made every day, dumb fuck. What are you doing about it? Not a damn thing, joker. Like 2 decks and a fucking card, you would know your ass from a hole in the ground. Somebody wants to come in and talk about fucking government's not there to pay poor people, but they send money to fucking Israel, $3 billion to Ukraine, to fucking Yemen, and all these destroyers. Go fuck yourself. Get out of here, child. Fuck you and your stupid politics. Poly meaning many, tick meaning bloodsucker. Get your fucking vampire ass out of here. You ain't going to drain the energy of this platform. Not in this YouTube Hollow Needle channel, 2 tubes sticking that, yeah, with your fang of some snake oil. I ain't going to sell you no snake oil in here. Go sell yourself porny a hand job with a little lotion. Lubriderm. Get out of here. Don't want your ass in here. I'm not going to try to change you. You ain't changing shit because you ain't doing shit. You ain't talking about shit. You're the silent majority. You don't care that the fucking poor suffer as we send more money to war. So I don't care. I'm not going to try to worry about what you think of my dialect. You probably believe in aliens. Aliens a fucking word. Hell's not below your feet. It's not 2025. So you can leave now, child. Goodbye. I'm moderator. You go ahead and go against anything I say. Goodbye. It's not a fucking echo chamber. We're told not to sup with vipers. Do not cash your pearls. You want to go ahead and tell me that it's okay to fucking take away from the poor as we send more money to fucking Israel, more money to fund the war machine, a $1 trillion military budget, and we can't feed our poor? This is what World War III and the collapse looks like. They're going to bring in a new cycle, but it's Father doing it. Father creates all things. Don't get mad at me. Take it up with the Creator. He created me. Goodbye. Get out of here. Okay, goodbye. Goodbye. You don't even have to open up your mouth. Nate, define the word hell. Define the word hell. Give me the definition of hell. We'll start defining words. We'll see if any of you have any grip on what reality is. So we're going to slow it down. My moderator, moderate anybody who doesn't answer my question. Ziggy, moderate anybody that's not answering the question. What is the word hell? It's in Revelation 9:11 says they have a king over them. The king of the abyss, that is Apollyon, the one that Donald Trump has his house decorated. It's not politics, dumbass. That's history. And you just don't want to talk about it because you're stuck in your little box. Hell of Chicago. I'll take that, Nate, because that's not the answer, but that's still answering my question. So, okay, well, that's allowed, chat, because that's okay. Bethany, you think that's fucking funny, so you're out of here, you stupid fucking dumb bitch. Get out of here. I say don't put anything, and she laughs at Nate. So, well, who do you think made Chicago who it was? Never trust somebody with hand tattoos. Okay, whatever. Let no one steal your crown. On Revelation, remember 3:11? Let no one quickly. Goodbye. The Most High does not dwell in temples made by hands. Goodbye. Talking about what you see in the physical. Only don't trust anybody with hand tattoos. Oh, yeah, thank you. That's what you do. Do not judge them by their cover. You'll know them by their fruit. That's not what the word says, right? So you'll have to excuse me. I curse a little bit, but so what? Jimmy crack corn. You can't serve two masters. That's the word Lord. That's never anywhere written in the text ever once. So if you get out of text, I will throw you out of here myself if I have to. I'm not going to let you come in and sup with my family. You ain't going to come in here and break bread with nobody. We don't have to do that. That's what he tells us not to do. So you just don't read the word at all. The word is Hokadesh. I'm asking you to define what the word hell is. Oh, see you tomorrow. He said he's going to throw you out for the day. You're going to be gone for the whole day. You have to go to timeout. We ain't going to put you in corner. You got to go outside. We don't do that modern timeout shit. Go, come back when you know, tomorrow. Nobody permanently ever has been once banned from this channel permanently. Not even myself, ever once. That's Father's job to condemn. We just judge with righteous judgment. You're so judgmental. Yeah, the word is orgate. Quick to judgment. Yeah, we'll know you by your fruit. 2 times and you're out of here. See ya. It's not 2025. Goodbye. It ain't an echo chamber. We don't have to sup with vipers. The word tells us that. We're going to go through suffering because we tell you this. That's why. And we'll share the gospel. That's it. It's a gospel-based channel. Don't care about anything else. Don't care about religion. The gospel isn't a religion. The gospel is suffering, not peace is antichrist. Anybody who says peace is an antichrist, teaching you incorrectly. That is the word prophet. A false prophet is the word scorpizo. We use the texts that were written in the text that were on the stone tablets that were canonized and defined. Before you speak any of them, you won't be allowed to twist them. That is the word froward in Hebrew. It means to pervert, and he said that in Revelation, not to pervert his word, froward, to add, that's the word froward, take away, add, twist, or warp, speed or God speed. So you start doing some of your God sense or nonsense or God's in the sky, Daddy Jesus. We don't do Jesus. We might give you a, try to refine you. There's no J's in Hebrew or Greek. We won't fight over a letter. But if you can be reproofed with the word, then you probably be able to stay around. You probably end up getting a wrench. And that's the way we should have done it for years ago. Gave anybody a wrench that produces fruit. We've only lost just a few wrenches, but we do throw 20,000 people out of here a month. So it's been doing that year after year. We throw more people away every month than we do bring to the channel. We actually don't want you here. Don't you understand? You didn't just come to some channel where I'm trying to grow this. The Father brings the fold, brings the sheep to the flock. Most people are goats, so we kick all the goats out here. Greatest of all time, peace, Jesus. He didn't say, he said, I didn't come to bring peace. I came to bring a sword of division. He is the horizo. He is the separator of the divide, the horizon, the day from the night, the dark from the light. That is prohorizo, and we teach that in here as well. Predestination. It means it was already written. He already shows his bride. It's in Romans 8:29. It's in Paul's writings, which is the gospel, that he predestined, he pre-selected, he imprisoned his bride in their flesh in sin and encased him in this meat suit. And when they're supposed to live not like be not of flesh and blood, wrestle not of flesh and blood. Paul said, right, through the writings, it's come out of her, my people, right? Be in it, but be not of it. You're supposed to be living like you're born from above, not again, because he pulls us to him above, from above. So, yeah, well, I don't make money on this channel. You know that, Ziggy. I'll ask for, at the end if you want to donate, but I'm not here trying to grift anybody. Anybody could have come to this ministry and be living here right now. And you better get your head on straight. You better get food motivated. Food better be your motivation. And people can come take your damn food. You better be able to forage. You better be able to make a water filter without having a water filter. Be able to make a fire so you can build a water filter. Boil your water and drink so you can stay alive instead of sitting there like, I'd eat my damn arm before I die. You guys are wrong, and you're not supposed to mass eat your flesh. That's a good one. We just made that up on the fly. Don't eat flies. Eat your kids, right? Don't eat flesh. So, mass hay. Bleach kids. Oh, do you bleach your whites? Bleach. Chloride. They put it in your brights and, well, to whiten your whites and in your water to take care of the fecal and coliform bacteria. Same thing they give you on death row as the third shot to stop your heart. Yes, heart attack. Heart stop. Failure. Eat your bleached water. We'll drink it. Fluoride. That's a halogen. Halogens are bad. They'll kill you as well. Remember? Fluoride, bromine. What's the other one? There's more than that, right? There's iodine, but that's a good one. That's the good halogen. Chloride, fluoride, bromide. These are all these are all halogens, right? They are bad for you. You guys eat these things in everything. They put it in everything. They use it in fertilizers. They use it. There you go. There you go. We don't want no vipers in there. You got it, Ziggy. Then good. So I don't feel like it's an echo chamber. You know what I'm saying, Ziggy? It's not an echo chamber. He tells us don't sup with vipers, don't cast your pearls before swine. So we're not to break bread. We show them to the narrow way. If they're in the broad way, we show them to the narrow way. One way, they got to go exit stage left or right, because you're going to hear, it's supposed to be as a man who's trying to be upright in this hard world at Satan's playground, that you sit there with $10 in your pocket and you go to some, trap house, some crack house, some whorehouse or something like that, and you're sitting there and you're trying to be upright, and you got all this going on around you, and you're just sitting there bored as you're sitting on that couch, right? There's just a little food here, and then keep seeing these things go up. Pretty soon, it's going to rub off on you. Me rub you wrong time or long time. You're going to ask, hey, what do we get for $10? And you know what our answer is going to be. Ask anything you want, right? So, you become a product of your environment. Let's just put it that way. We don't break bread with people who want, I'm not some kind of perfect, I cuss in here, but whatever. We'll see how much I cuss after, what are we now, 12 days away from, 12 days away from, from pretrial. So, whatever, man. Father's got it in his hands. Remember? Oh my God, don't worry about somebody that got their hands tattooed. Shut up, get away from me. So, but whatever, we'll see. One more week. Oh, this channel won't be here anymore. And, well, I'll try to get somebody to keep the stream up, but I won't, you won't have to listen to my whiny ass, because, I've been redressing my grievances about this disgusting, filthy corporation that, is very heavily involved in potentially the murder of my son and my daughter, and won't even help me look for them. And nobody will. Nobody's even helped me at all. Not one single person has come to help me look for my son or daughter in any way, shape, or form. The only help I've had is through this ministry to keep me going. So if I disappear, I'll try to keep the ministry up and give somebody some money and give my phone, and they can just run the ministry. You just won't see me here. So, but we'll see. It's all in Father's hands. I'm not, there's no chances, 50, 40, 10% I might do, no, it's 100% in Father's hands. So I ain't tripping. So I ain't tripping no more. Really ain't worth my time to squash it all, kicked on back, and wrote you all a rhyme. Too short? Oh, sorry. Whatever. I'm preparing for both. Preparing to go to jail, or preparing to not to go to jail and then go to Mexico and go eat tacos and go enjoy and smoke some Acapulco in Acapulco. Wish I was in Tijuana eating barbecued iguana. No, I'm not eating lizards, but anyways, I might chooch on some Acapulco though. So it's going to be tough to be laying on a hard freaking cold, but I'll figure it out if that's the case. They can't give me too long. I don't have any, remember, I don't have a record, so can't throw me in the book at me. And they already released my daughter's charges 14 months ago for the same thing they've got me pinned for. So why they haven't dropped my charges is God's will. Thy kingdom come. He'll be back and he'll redeem his bride. So all glory to the bridegroom, Shiloh, and the Lamb. He is the Lamb. David declared him the Lamb of God. He was the offshoot of David. Remember, he sprang out of Judah. So the Lion from the tribe of Judah, the scepter, one who holds the inheritance, and that you have to have a crown to set at the feet of Shiloh to receive your heirs to the crown, to the kingdom of God, that Paul said we must go through much tribulation to receive. My treasure awaits. Whatever. Look at, I'm 12 days away. Got an attorney and paid tens of thousands of dollars, and he still hasn't given me counsel. Luke 12:11, oh, you be without counsel, and they'll throw you in front of their magistrates and their men in their synagogues and black robes. Their modern day, that's what they've got me under, their kangaroo merchant law, land, air, and water. Right? So I don't go by that. I don't do that. And I didn't get arrested under the name capital Tracy. My name at the time of arrest was Apocalypse, so I'm not concerned. It's 100% in Father's hands. Revelation. They said that was another charge because that was false official statement to a police officer. I brought them to the fact that that's what they call me, Pastor Revelation, but I don't operate in commerce. My name is capital T, small r, small a, small c, small y, capital W, small e, small r, small n, small e, small r. I only operate in a private capacity, never in commerce. I don't follow codes, ordinances. He blotted out the handwriting ordinances in the book of Colossians 2:14. And I don't go on dates with men. So I don't follow mandates, codes, or ordinances. Those are meant for a corporation. I told you already. I only operate in a private capacity. I don't operate in commerce. Okay? I'm not a corporation. I'm not an LLC. I'm not some kind of business. I'm not open or for hire. You are not going to contract with me. I don't contract with you. So they don't know what to do in this case. Actually, that probably show why they haven't been able to do anything, because they can't go forward with it in the case legally. They don't know what to do. So they probably murdered my son and daughter because they're so mad at me. They came here to, well, they shot my son with his hands in his air, and my daughter grenaded her without a warrant, and my son, so they must be pretty mad at me. So that's what Father's going to have to sort it out. It's not up to me. It's not in my hands. So my hands are might end up, they have to put them behind my back and go into the back. I know what goes on back there. So, man, I hope I have some money on my books this time. Last time I took all my money in my book, and bailed myself out of jail because they said I was harassing the police and menacing them because I was asking them to look for my son. So all my charges are for me just telling them they need to look at my son's hours and stop trying to arrest him because he got in trouble and did what he's supposed to do. So there was some violation of probation of not doing his work that he did 2 times, not just once, but he put his head down and did it twice. So They don't want to listen to it. It is what it is. So I ain't tripping. So it's in Father's hands. No matter what happens, Father already wrote it. Don't you see? Father's the creator, the writer. Only by I, self-will, edit my name out of the book of life. My treasure awaits, not on this rock. Nothing here that Father's going to do to me is going to pull me away from him. If he sends me to jail, that's not going to make me not love him. Okay? I won't love him more or less. I'll just love him the way I do every day. Love is agape, walk and follow in his commandments. So that's what I do. I do what he commands me to do. And try to do as little of my own will as possible, if any, and pray for his will. I've only prayed for his will for what? More than a decade, going on, well into almost 2 decades here of teaching everybody that I only pray for Father's will. You know what I'm saying? An all-knowing God shouldn't need us to prove how. It isn't about proof, you dumbass. You wouldn't know anything about Scripture. You've never probably read it once in your life, have you? The Scripture says it's people like you, like goons and goblins, fucking gooning in here. I guess somebody said, what's your gooning and yapping and goblins? And that's okay. You want to be a goblin, some fucking stupid-ass little troll. He said, if I didn't call out to their hearts to seek after me, not one of them would. You don't know the Scripture. Go fuck yourself, you stupid motherfucker. Get away from me, you slime fucking pig. Go wallow in your mud, pig shit somewhere else. There is no such thing as God, you stupid motherfucker. God is a 3-letter word that never existed anywhere in Scripture. So go fuck yourself. Thanks for dropping in. Adult Stream. My 2 witnesses. Just get this slime the fuck ball out of here. This ain't about proving he makes him. Did you hear what I just said, dumbass? Maybe learn something before you get moderated. That's the churchies. Yeah, the Most High doesn't dwell in temples made by hands. Go fuck yourself. Goodbye. Don't come back ever again, goblin. Thanks for coming in. Don't come back. Don't let the door hit you or the good Lord split you. So, seriously, a bunch of goons and goblins, right? That's all right. I'm not concerned about their lack of understanding of the dialect that's in the text, in the scrolls, tablets, pounded out on rock by the scribes. So remember, they're going to put me in front of their magistrates and try to scare me with a bunch of fake kangaroo bullshit. So even if they throw me in jail, he said you'd be persecuted. He was thrown in jail for standing up to the law, the government, and religion. Fuck you stupid churches. There's not one good church anywhere. Not one establishment made by physical is worth a shit. They're all the synagogues of Satan. They're the same thing they were at the time of Rome, the time of Christ, that he called them out. You don't know anything. Just get the fuck away from me with your stupid ass talk. I don't want to hear it. My days are limited. I might be going to jail. I don't want to give a fuck, man. I got to deal with a bunch of... Think my talk in there is going to be any different? Go fuck yourself, man. I don't do church. Church is evil. He destroyed the physical temple with his prophecy of no stone left upon another. Quick, go smoke some more... What rock? Yeah, it was pounded out on rock. What kind of rock are you smoking, crackhead? Get away from me. We all got a crack in your butt, right? Oh, I do too. You ain't special. Go puff and sniff on something else here, buddy. Brokeback Mountain. Yeah. That's your heart, your sodomite worship there too, by the way. Your Lupercalia, your February, your love. That's who you love. That's who you love. So... And he said, Peter, I'm not asking you if you phileo me. Do you love me? So you might want to get it straight. That's not what Christ was talking about. You got it backwards, Brokeback Mountain. So we're doing it organically in here. I don't want to deal with your crap world. You guys are just allowing this to happen, and you're the silent majority to the evil. The only thing it takes for it to flourish is for good men to stand around the people, because it's men and women under this covenant, and do nothing about it. Say nothing. Sit there and use your Miranda right, your remain silent and shut the fuck up. STFU. Thank you for coming in. Don't want to hear nothing. I'm not here to be stupid, because that word is nice. The word nice means to be stupid. So if you think you're going to say something nice to me, take your nice Jesus as Satan, the sun god, and kick rocks. He's the Petra, not some fake Mason Jesus. 33 anti-temple Jesus. Masons. Oh, that sounds like the Mormons. Oh, yeah. The Most High doesn't dwell in temples made by hands. That's what he said. If I didn't call out to their hearts to seek after me, not one of them Why would a God make them prove that they... He said, if I didn't call out to their hearts to seek, you don't make them prove anything. Seek, knock, and sup. It's not proving. It's called faith, and faith alone are we saved. But we have to die to be saved and endure to the end to be saved. So nobody's been saved. You're only saved when he returns to pick up what he paid for. It's called redemption, dumbasses. You stupid fucking religious idiots. You seriously... That's what it does. It dumbs your asses down. You don't want to learn shit. You don't want to learn nothing. A savings account, a child. He said, Venus is a child. You spend your savings. There ain't going to be nothing after you die, you idiot. Idiot's not an insult. It means you don't know. Never heard it or seen it. I'm hoping it just falls on deaf ears. No, I don't hope. Just being silly. It's the word that I can throw out there. Hope and change. How'd that work out for you? Remember Mr. Vomit? Then Mr. 45, remember? Mr. 45, as a snake, sticker, like sitting there like a duck, like getting shot in a pond, a pool of water in the sea. What's a duck doing in the ocean? I don't know, you tell me. Maybe it's a seagull. No, it's a duck. You're sitting there like a duck on a log. Maybe it's a drift log, driftwood. Seriously, you look like a duck out of water, huh? No, you look like you're just sitting there. Like, if I had my way, I'd have all of you shot, remember? Mr. Warp Speed. If I speak in the tongues of the men of angels, there's no such thing as speaking in tongues, but I do not have love. I am only resourcing gong and or changing symbol, and I have a gift of prophecy. There's no such thing as prophecy. What in the hell are you talking about? Resurrection Warrior is a fucking new age Reiki bullshit nonsense. There's no such thing as speaking in tongues. You don't even know what you're talking about. Why in the fuck would you come in here and say your stupid ass haiku bullshit that you came in here trying to come in with some scriptural that doesn't say love? It's the word agape. Where do you come up with these gong, like the Gong Show? Bam! I know symbolism and waves and frequency and sound and Torah and tongue. Tongue is language. There's only the gospel. Unchanged gospel and the gospel, right? Anything you add, symbol, frequency, sound, mathematical language, what the fuck do you think you're talking about? There's no such thing as speaking in tongues. You can't speak in tongues. You're an alien. Alien is a dialect, a foreign dialect. So your dialect in here is not welcome. Take your haiku bullshit, Reiki nonsense, go somewhere else. You're not speaking poetry and motion in here. Okay? Frequency spoke into existence like a wave, symbol, sound, gong show. You're going to get gonged the fuck out of here coming here with your haiku bullshit. The hell is love? You don't know what love is. What the fuck did you try to make some kind of bullshit up like you're doing? How do you come into a ministry like this and think you're going to get away with some dumbass shit? Father, thank you for making this person a complete fucking idiot. Having no idea. I guess your audience needs it beat into them. We'll beat something into them. Okay, here. We'll give you, I normally give you 3 times because we'll throw you out here. Go ahead, beat something into somebody here. Because there's no such thing as speaking in tongues. You don't know anything about the nation of Israel. You don't know anything about the end gathering, the days to be grafted into the nation of Israel, about the 3, remember, altar ritual, right? The circumcision of the flesh, the water ritual that they did, right? You don't know anything about these feast of end gatherings, trumpets, speaking of frequency, blowing the horn. I think you're blowing your own horn there, idiot. So go ahead. Say something. See what you can speak into this plane, time, place, and space, because there's no outer space. There's no universe. So if you're one of those, it's not 2025 resurrection warrior. You're a fucking keyboard warrior is all you are. You're haiku. So go ahead. Oh, man, I thought we were going to get some more haiku bullshit out of these people. All right, well, whatever. Did you hear all that nonsense? There's no such thing as speaking in tongues. That's the word alien. Alien dialect, glossa. You don't define anything. Dialectus. Nobody spoke in tongues. You need an interpreter that spoke in your language. Your vernacular is oligas. You speak like some child mystery Reiki bullshit with fucking 8 arms like your Octus or your little, what was that, Shiva bullshit. Get away from me. Whatever. They still put a little dot on your head, tell me you got a 3rd eye or something, huh? See what I'm saying? Probably not. You red eye to go? Probably not. So anyways, let's keep chugging along here. What do we got going here? All right, hold on. I had a message. Shmessage. Let me chooch down that fire here. I lit a fire here. It was pretty got a little chilly overnight here, so wouldn't want to sit here in the chilly cabin. So gonna get some more things done out here today. I went yesterday that into town, picked up some wood stoves, some really nice wood stoves, and there was places that didn't have that veterans like well, there was a couple few places that didn't honor it. It's kind of weird. I showed them on their website and they're like, oh, we can't do that. I'm like, whatever, I don't care. I'm just why would you put this on your website that you're doing? It says all your locations and all that. But anyways, I stuffed myself and didn't even go to some of the better places. It just was I don't know, kind of felt like gluttony, and I'm glad that I did. My timing was perfect. Father's timing was perfect, because if I would have waited there any longer, on my way back, I stopped for a second, and was looking at I was on the internet, and somebody listed a really nice Avalon wood stove, and they were selling it for like $10. Like $10, that's $1,000, $1,200 over, wood stove, and coming to find out, they had 3 of them there, and I can only shove 2 of them in the back of the 4Runner. So I ended up getting 2, and I'm glad that I didn't. And then when I tried to give him, I didn't have a whole lot of cash, but I tried to give him some ones, and he's like, just take it, and I thought that was pretty cool. So I'm glad I didn't go try to eat. I could have went to Olive Garden or a couple of other places, but I went and, ate a few places, and I haven't eaten fast food in forever, so I got a chicken sandwich from Wendy's, and it's just been a long time since I don't normally eat out, or I make my food, or you see sometimes I've had some of these backpack meals for a lot of years. Going to eat some of these things up. I mean, they're good. Most of them are good till 2045 and 2050, but anyways, went and stuffed myself and came home, and was glad that I left at the time, because I was able to pick up. I'm sure somebody would have texted him immediately, and it's kind of funny. I texted him in the bathroom. I had to stop and use the bathroom, for a second. Oh, bam! And he's like, "Yeah, I'm just down," and I knew where I was in the Pines, so it was a little drive down the road, another distance a little bit, but it was definitely worth going there and picking him up. And I picked up some other like stovepipe and stuff like that too. So it was a good day. It wasn't a waste of any money, Yeah, no, I don't ever eat fast food. So it was like, I got some others, whatever. I went in, because I didn't know. I just went over there because I went to McDonald's, and I fed it to the chickens this morning. It was chicken food, but I don't know. The chickens can process it. I wouldn't even give it to the dog. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't even feed it to my dog, but I fed it to the chickens. So, and I did, actually what I did is I knew there was a couple people, like I said, I'd seen that were in town, and Ben doesn't have a lot of that, but I know it was Veterans Day, and I seen a couple guys sitting outside of, McDonald's. So I went there and gave them my meal, whatever, and an orange juice, you know what I'm saying? So it was worth it for me to do that, you know what I'm saying? To go there and, pull up, hey, you want a steak bagel? And, hash brown and some salsa and orange juice? Yeah, because they're sitting outside, So I gave away my food, and then I went back at lunchtime, because there was like 3 or 4, and got some of those chicken strips, and I opened them up like, what the hell is that? That ain't no freaking chicken strip. That's some processed looking elbow freaking duck leg looking kind of a deal. But anyways, my chickens are out there eating it for breakfast today. But I went to Red Robin and got a burger there. I could have went to Olive Garden. I went to Chick-fil-A. They didn't honor it. Jimmy John's didn't honor it. There were some other places that didn't honor, even on their website. So there were 2 good places that I really wanted to try up by the Mount Bachelor pubs, and they had real tall. One Robin burger was not very big either. I was really whatever. I was disappointed. I just thought it said it was our tavern burger and the bigger patty. So I was coming out thinking it was going to be and it was just like It was good. Actually, I only ate half of it. I did. That was the only burger worth eating, and I actually only ate about a third of it. And since Pants with me all day, I gave that to Pants. He ate everything but the tomatoes and the pickles on it. Whatever I gave it to, man. And my dog went with me yesterday, so I brought my puppy with me. So he went. That's why I didn't want to go sit down, and because I had him with me. So um, I went down to Red Robin, but I went and got out a couple times and checked on him. He's fine. He's just sitting there, but because I had that other food in the car, and I knew he'd probably be. I fed him, tipped in his nose, and he just sat there. But when I came out of Red Robin, they gave me like 7 fries, and I understand, it was like, but there were literally like 7 fries on the plate, a big thing of ranch. Like, dude, this is the shit that just drives me crazy because I've been in the food service industry, right? And waste is what kills a business. You know what I'm saying? Good stuff, Josh. So they give me 7 fries, right? There might have been 8 fries, guys. I'm telling you, they were only, wedges and like steak fries is what they were, steak fries. And I guess I could have got more. Oh, okay. That's what it is. That's why they give you. I forgot you could get more. My bad. Okay. My bad. I forgot. I didn't even, damn, it's getting hot in here. Hold on. Heck yeah. You guys, I'm gonna make some eggs. I'm gonna make some eggs here. Oh yeah, I have more steak. Yes, I have more steak. Ooh, I'll be using that later. I don't know what for, but I will. Okay. Let's get this going. Now I'm gonna make me some eggs. Right. I mean, I could water glass more eggs, but I gotta eat these eggs up, guys. I got a lot of eggs. So I'm going over 2 dozen eggs now. Like 3 dozen or something. So I better eat some eggs. Hold on. I gotta eat like 3 or 4 eggs real quick. They're awesome too. So give me uno momento. I'm gonna throw some butter, some salted butter, not margarine. I don't eat my dashboard. You know how far away your butter is from your dashboard? Not too many away from the fuel you put in your car. I don't know how many polymers, but not many. So I'm trying to eat real, butter and not eat that damn margarine. I did when I was younger, but it's been a while since when I started caring more about what I put in my body. Okay, I'm not going to do that to myself anymore for no reason, just to punish yourself like that. Just eat your dashboard. Give that to the chickens. A little bit of cabbage. And a bit of cabbage. All right, where's my eggs? Where's the oldest eggs? Big boy right there, boy, I tell you what. pepper on them. Put some pepper. Steam going in there. Cook the tops of those a little bit. Don't we just a little bit. We got cabbage there, nice. Cabbage. Man, when you got too many eggs, that's not a bad thing. Yeah, I got. Isn't that? It's a good thing when you have too many eggs, right? Too much protein source. So. All right, well, sun shot out a pretty good. It looks like we've got another X flare coming at us here. We already took a pretty good bombardment. It was super cloudy last night, so I couldn't see. But it looks like there were a lot of aurora in Texas and Florida and Mexico. And again, here we are with equatorial solar flares when we shouldn't be having these things that low. We should have them up in the northern portion of where, north or south, but not, not at our equator. There's definitely it's just going to be a matter of time now at this point that this grid goes down, and if you're not preparing for a grid down, you're kind of stepping on your own dick. The grid is going to go down eventually. It went down in the 1800s. We lost all our tech in the Carrington event from a solar flare. And we didn't even take anything like that. This is, I think, an X5. If we took a solar flare like that, we would not have a grid at all. We do have there's more energy coming from the sun right now that hasn't, we haven't gotten the larger one yet. So we already had a KP8 and a G4 geomagnetic storm, seeing these aurora again when we shouldn't be seeing them this low. Now, we did take an X flare, but not like an X5. We just shouldn't have seen auroras near the equator again. Equatorial auroras are a northern thing. That's where all the energy comes in from the south and the north. The toilets spin in opposite directions, right? So why? The magnetic polarity. Oh man, these are going to be so yummy. So yummy. Almost. So we'll cook just a little bit more. Just a wee bit more. More. That'll probably be good, eh? Yeah, we'll call that good. Tremo. fresh eggs right off the chicken butt. Farm fresh eggs right there. Lots of pepper. Look at all that pepper. A lot of pepper on them. So, oh yeah, beautiful color of that yolk. Well, thank you, Father, for farm fresh eggs. Every single day, every single day. Gotta eat eggs. I love eggs. From my head down. To my legs. Yeah, that's good. I do. I had another bread. I don't do a whole lot of bread, so I'm gonna want to stick one of these on a piece of bread. A piece of bread. We'll eat these ones like they are. Oh, she's so beautiful. Oh yeah. All right, we're gonna put this one's here on this bread. On the bread. Oh yeah. We're making an egg sandwich. So I've been trying not to eat a whole lot of bread, but this bread has been here for about a week. Bam. One piece of bread left. Fresh egg sandwich. I got some orange juice here. Hold on. I do. I got me some orange juice. I gobbled up the yolks. Man, I wish I baked the bread myself, but oh well. My life's not anywhere close to where it could be, but oh well. There's always room for improvement, right? Some more orange juice. Oh man. Yummy. Good orange juice there. Yeah, yeah. So, any words, I thought I'd come in here and see what you guys are doing to prepare for, what happens if the grid and, goes down here in the next day, 3 week, month, year. Could you make it without assistance from the government? How long could you make it on your own? Are you self-reliant? Are you one of these people that are on a smart meter, thinking that you're smart? Being throttled and metered? Man, those are good eggs. Those are fabulous. Fabulous. Oh, man. All that butter on there. What, this last bite? Come here, bud. You're the best puppy. Good boy. One puppy bite. One puppy bite. You're my best puppy I have right now. You're the best puppy I ever have. Ever did have. You're the better what it did was. Oh. Uh-oh. Better refill that water. All right, now it'll be nice and cold. I'm addicted to that damn water. All right, now we go. Shut that door. Hope the McDonald's doesn't hurt our poor chickens, huh? I wonder if they're eating it. We'll go out there and see if they're even eating it. I'm gonna wipe that up. I got right there. All right, there we go. What are you doing, biggest bone? Come over here, buddy. Come over here, over here, over here. Over here. Thank you, boy. All right, so you guys got no plans? You guys aren't doing nothing? You guys just sitting there and wait for the grid to go down, and then you have to wait for the FEMA camps to come and go pick you up and let the robots come take you off to your little slave labor camps? Get inside your little, get your UBI, go in there in your little cities, start relocating whole communities. When's that going to start happening? We're getting pretty close to that, boy. They sure felt like we were going to, they're just relocating anybody they want, though, with their ice wall out there now, aren't they? They'll just ice you out of the community if they don't want you. Come get 5, 6 guys and dressed up like a bunch of, I don't know, wannabe Call of Duty guys or something like that. Maybe that's what that is. This is a Rainbow Six, or I don't know, there's names, I guess, some of these. Battlefield. These are Battlefield. Yeah, there we go. You know, and they get to go to kidnap people and fail people's right to due process. You don't have to have citizenship to have rights under the Constitution. People forget that. If you come over to this country and something happens to you while you're here, doesn't matter if you came here illegally or legally or have a piece of paper or not, you still have rights under the Constitution of the United States. So, but they have been failing that, and that's exactly what they did out here at this property to my daughter. So I'm not very happy. You know, they'll do it to anybody. They kidnapped my daughter and without a warrant, and then have a warrant, arrested her and never did have a warrant. So that's an illegal arrest. took her from this property and violated her 4th and 5th and 8th and 12th, and yeah. So I don't know. World as I know it is gone. Everybody in America is pretty much fucked. There's no community. There is no unity. And there is no United States. So it's only be a matter of time for this country's taken over and it'll be something else. This isn't the America it once was. So anybody who's trying to convince himself this country is a fucking country is a retard. Meaning they're restrained back, not in a derogatory way. You're not even looking at the whole picture. I'm not talking about having a mental disability. Using it in a sense is like a carburetor. It's either advanced or retarded. You're only seeing a part of the picture. You can't distinguish the forest from the trees, and your grip on reality is, gone. I mean, this corporation is just enslaving everybody with debt and war, and the poorest people can't even be paid in this country right now. They took from the poorest people instead of going in and doing an isolated case by case base, whatever. You got enough people working for the damn government to figure it out. You got your Doge thing. Why didn't you go in and Doge it or something, right? And I guess that's what they said they did, though, that for the data that they have. I know what it's all about. It's about getting people to give up their data. It's more of a data dump is what it is. But what a bunch of nonsense, man. This isn't the America it once was. Anybody who's convinced themselves that this country is united is lost. And it's a two-party state where and that's democracy. We're not a democracy. We're a constitutional republic. So, and it's not now. It's a corporation. It's not even a democracy. The democracy is the front. They drop freedom and democracy bombs on people. And democracy is mob rule. Democracy means 49% of the people don't have a voice, and that's not what freedom's about. So there's no freedom. It was about the right to choose, remember? And they don't have a voice, so that's not how it works. What do you want, button? What do you want? Coming over to say hi? Was that a good bite of that sandwich? Boy, yesterday. You were such a good boy yesterday. Thank you for being. Don't you kiss me. Don't you dare. Don't you give me kisses. No kisses for Dad. No kisses for Dad. He's my good boy. He's your fluffy boy. He's your fluffy boy. He's your fluffy, fluffy puppy. He's a fluffy, fluffy puppy. You're a fluffy boy. You're a fluffy boy. You're Dad's boy, aren't you? Okay. Love you, Bobby. So, anyways, just hanging out here and a little bit. Thought I'd come on here for got started out here today, get some stuff going. Was tinkering around here a little bit earlier, and but just counting the days here until this trial, and hope my attorney. I don't think he's going to call me this week, and next week's the pre-trial. So if they don't call me next week, I guess I'm just planning on going to trial. He said something other than that, but whatever. But he can't take me to trial. I know that. I can only have my son and daughter there. And I'll definitely be bringing that up. So that's a right of my Sixth Amendment. That wouldn't be it's a mistrial if you take me to trial and I can't even have the witnesses that were in the vehicle with me that day to call a witness in my favor on why I told Elijah not to stop that vehicle. Then it's a mistrial, and I'm going to bring it up at that day. So I don't think that it's going to go that far. I really don't. But who fucking knows with this county? They do whatever they want. I was hoping that John would get this shit all straightened out. So maybe he will. I'll try not to be. I'm trying not to be impatient. I mean, knowing how long I'd be gone, having some ideas so I can make some plans or something, but I don't even have. We'll see. I'm trying to show patience, and 100% it's in Father's hands. So apparently the counsel that I pay for, I didn't get at this point. But if he gets me out of it, then I don't, Ziggy. I don't, because I can't. If I do, then Father will do something else. You know what I'm saying? If I have any kind of notion, then he'll do something different, you know, because that's just the way he is with it's that's the way it works in my life. Look at this case. I can't even look for my son and daughter. That's why I want to get this done. So I can try to locate my fucking son and daughter. So you see, if they hate me, they hate me. Ask him, did Marshall steal that fucking silver, you know, and gold? So I can take care of that too. Because if they don't have my silver and gold and they're alive and he's taken it, then I need to pursue why they didn't go there with Josephine County that day and go get my silver and gold, you know, and then go arrest Marshall for taking it and my passport. So that's a federal offense. To steal somebody's passport or withhold somebody's passport from them is federal case. So, you know, I don't know. We'll count down the days. Tomorrow's 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. I mean, it's fuck, man. But that's good because we're getting there. Well, like I said, I'm either going to jail or I'm not. I mean, that's for sure. See, 100%. I'm either going to jail or I'm not, right? I mean, what else could it be? I'm going to die in the next, you know, tomorrow I'll be 52 tomorrow. So will I die tomorrow? Do I want to make it to 52? Will tomorrow be my day of death? Who knows, man? Tomorrow could be my day of death, you know? So I may never talk to my son and daughter ever again, even if they are alive. So I don't know. But tomorrow, I've been here 52 years, and I'm just hoping he won't make them as difficult as these last 52 were. So I was hoping when I hit my Jubilee year there that, you know, not that I care, he'd let up on me, kind of give me some forgiveness, you know, and he didn't. He made it worse. He made it even harder. So I should have never even, you know what I'm saying? Why would I think Father would ever let up on me, you know? So he probably won't. I'm trying to face that as part of my, you know, future, is that it's probably just going to get a lot worse. So I don't know. What could I do? Count down the days now. It's getting closer. Holy shit. You know, what am I going to do? I know what I did, you know. God, Father knows what I did. So that's the only person I'm concerned about judging me in the sense like that. So, I mean, I'm happy to take it to trial. And even if I lose trial, I don't care. At least I took it to fucking trial. Only 1.5% of people take it to trial. So no, it's not. So their Father's never going to abandon me. That's not an option. It's whether he's going to beat me more. It's not abandon me. You know? That's not a thing. So it's never a thing. Father's always with me. He'll never be with me. And even my dead flesh lay there, he's still with me because I am spirit. I am not flesh. So my flesh doesn't have anything to do with who I am. It has zero to do with who I am. So Father is inside of me, so he won't never leave me. I know that. That's the assurance. I hope you guys can figure that shit out on this channel. Discern through what I tell you. He don't dwell in temples made by hands. He's inside you. He's looking inside you. He sees everything the world doesn't see. Nobody's getting away with nothing they did to me. Nobody. And nobody's getting away with nothing. I'm not getting away with anything that I ever done to anybody else. Don't matter. Everything I have to answer for my past, present, and future of anything I do. I am an accountable person. That's how I hold myself accountable. You know, so I ain't dodging it. I can tell you that. And that's what's so weird about my son is I told him not to do that. And so I don't know why he'd do this and run. I've been since December, you know, of 2024, I have just been perplexed, you know, on why my son would not show up to his trial. And I do think he was already possibly gone by then. So all of this has been for, that's the nice thing about knowing, again, you know, having a relationship with Father, knowing that the kingdom of heaven is within. Heaven's not above your head. You don't go to the die and go to the sky. You don't die and go to hell. That's not what the word says at all. It doesn't say that. Hell is no knowledge. Abyss is no knowledge. So my people shall perish for lack of knowledge. So if you have a relationship with Father, then you know that, remember, he destroyed the physical temple, the physical rituals through his son. And that's why he sent his son. It's that we're not getting anywhere by, only way that we are saved is by faith. But we have to put legs on our faith. And the Maranatha, he said, have your loins girded in my service until I return. So the word believe is a verb. It's not a thought in our heads. That's not what the word believe is. 99% of people get that wrong. We even use it wrong in our dialect, tongue, glossal. When we speak or vernacular, when we talk to other people, we say, I believe in this and I believe that's not what the word believe means. Believe is an action word. It's a verb. So you can't believe in God and you can't believe in Jesus and you can't. That's all nonsense. People don't have a relationship with the word. Father is the word. Father is the word. So it's always inside of me. And it'll never die. It says heaven and earth, the ruling class and the ruled, because heaven's not above your feet and earth's not below your feet, will perish. Those are the ruling classes. But my word, right? Well, the earthly ruled by the heavens of the class that are ruling them, which this is Satan's playground that you're in. People have forgotten where they're at. And, but my word will never die. So that's what's inside of me. So I know that I don't need to worry about going to some church, or they're all vain. I can crush any church with the word. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. No fiery darts will penetrate your armor. Paul tells us to put that on 2 times in Ephesians. So in 6 and 11, he tells us, that our battle isn't against this flesh. It's not against our brothers. It's not against, our battle is against these principalities and the people in high places, powers, the spiritual wickedness, the principalities. These are our battle. We battles he did. He battled against the church, the law, and religion. And they crucified and hated him for that. And because he was a threat to the church, that he said that the body is a temple and that the kingdom of heaven is within. And that is, to come out of this world, be in it, but be not of it. And that is a threat to an establishment and a church that's taken in ties to keep their parish there, and so they're going to keep them strangled by giving them some fake nonsense, giving them some supposed to be a dog, a shepherd, but a wolf in sheep's clothing, sitting there leading the sheep to slaughter, because they are the wolf, but they're supposed to be the shepherd. They're supposed to be a dog, and the shepherd leads the flock. So that's why Father made me a dog, and I don't much acquaint with being a sheep. If I'm a sheep, I'd be the black sheep and not the sheep of the flock of the norm, and don't feel as I could be even duplicated twice. So he declares, that's why I don't want to be like anybody else. I want to be like him. I don't want to be like the world. I don't want to be like anybody in this world. And I know that I'm not. I don't know anybody like me. So, and that's fine. I'm not trying to be like anybody right now. I want to be Christ-like, anointed in oil, and be that my lamp is single, and that my vessel is steering not by own will, but by his will, not by self, but he is the one puts the wind in the sail that pushes me, and it is my navigation. He is my navigator, because he's the one steering the ship. So he steers it no matter where it goes. So I don't have to worry about not having Father with me. If I even go to jail, I don't need the word. I like having the word to be able to read it and reproof and refine as silver, and but I can't even hardly read scripture anymore without having an assistance of either wearing the like glasses or something to magnifying, because my right eye just can't seem to get that. It's just hard. The print's small, and didn't feel like that until I got grenaded to the face and have the problem with my right eye. It just struggled to, it just, and it's weird because you kind of need, it's weird. You can just get the first letter of a sentence, or, we've seen that we have, our mind has that, but you normally need the first and the last letter. And my eye and my vision is always struggling because of whatever they did to my vision with the grenade. It's hard to read. So I'm fine to put on a pair of glasses because I can kind of it blows that up and I can focus my eye, but it's really tough for my eye to do that. So it's even tough to read the scripture, and that sucks because um, I always need to be reproofed. You know what I'm saying? With the word, I don't know it all, and I don't want to know it all. I don't want to know it all. I only want to know the gospel. He said he would show these things to us if we didn't stick our minds in things that and kept our eyes single, you know what I'm saying, and focused and kept him as our prize, that there would be things that would be revealed to us after we die. So I've obviously studied way too much already. Uh-huh. That doesn't mean I can't go back and study what I've already studied though, right? And I can't study new things, but I don't care. You know, if you've been here, I only care about the gospel. I don't care about anything else in scripture. It has some relevance, but it doesn't, to me, it doesn't have anything to do with my inheritance. It doesn't have anything to do with receiving the kingdom, and it doesn't have anything to do with the gospel. If it's not gospel oriented, then I don't want to study it anymore. I reject it. I do. My body makes me that way. I have too much gospel going constantly in my brain. I run the gospel through my head day and night. When I work, I'm out there a lot of the times. I'm not thinking about too many other things. I'm thinking about the word. And I talk with Father about it, and he's reproofing me as I'm building or working or whatever. I don't know what other people think about. You know, that's why when I was real young, I was like, I don't want to get in anybody's brain because they do not think like I think. And that's what used to scare me about humanity. And like, Father, will you just take me now? You know what I'm saying? Will you just get me out of here? Because I don't want to think like anybody else thinks. I don't want to get into their heads, because when I do, it scares the living crap out of me the way other people think. It wasn't so much how I thought, because I thought what I was thinking, you know, and I know we're all in our own. How's it going, Gio? Thanks for coming in, you know. But just the thought of other people's minds is scary. Um, yeah, we're not supposed to seek, you know, we're supposed to be single in our eye. So um, I've been that way. I've been that way. You know what I'm saying? I've been that way. When I was young, I wanted to know everything. My mindset was, I got to figure this all out now. I got to fix it all now. I want to enjoy my time, work hard, play hard, you know, just so appreciate your um, donations to the ministry. Skill, I'm trying to one day at a time. So I don't even know how that would work too. I should probably be careful, because if I'm sitting in jail next month, I won't receive any of the money that I would be getting from you guys off of this month. So, or it'll be money for me on the road. So something I'm hoping to go. I'm hoping to go. I don't want to get stuck here. I don't want to get stuck here at all. I want to go. But whatever Father has in for me, I'll do whatever Father tells me to do. I'm a slave to his will. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done. So, but we can learn other things, you know, Ziggy, but we really need to try to, when it comes to scripture and things like this, like things that I told you that for years studying Enoch's, you know, the Enoch's and Jasher, Lilith, and the Gospel of Thomas, and the Gospels, there was a lot of other scripture out there, you know, that was taken, the Dead Sea Scrolls and the Quran and all these other, you know, scriptures and texts, but they're just not gospel. And so I just don't really, it doesn't interest me. Maybe your friend could take it. What do you mean take it? I'm not sure what you mean, Ziggy. But it would go, what it does, it goes into my bank account. So I wouldn't have any way for him to get it out of my bank account, you know what I'm saying, and get it to me. So I don't know. It'll sit there in the bank, I guess. Right? I don't know. I don't think I'll get any access to a bank or anything. I don't know what the hell's going to happen. They can't pin me for that fucking long. You know, my ex called me yesterday, and I was talking to her, and I don't have a record. So what are they going to do? I don't even know if they can give me any jail time at this point. I mean, I don't have a record. But I'm just saying, I mean, I am preparing to like them to throw the book at me. They fucking hate me. They hate me here. They hate me so much. They hate me. Those people hate me. It is. I make their system look bad. I make their system look like, that they go there and just run over everybody. And that ain't happening with me. And they don't like me. So what she thinks they're just messing with me. And she's just doing it. She said, Tracy, you know, I'm your ex, I'm your friend, I care about you. They're just messing with you. You know that, they're just doing it to fuck with you because they hate you so much. You won't do their system, so they're gonna drop it. She thinks that they're not gonna. She thinks Elijah's alive. She thinks he's mad at me. That's why she thinks that maybe he and Adriana took the silver, and I don't know. I like hearing it from a different perspective. I like hearing other people's, that's not my home, and others, and I'm always open, But so it's nice to talk to her because she has she's known Elijah for longer and more than half his life, So, yeah, she seems to think that they're just mess with me. So I won't have any way. It'll just go to my, like I said, it'll go to my bank, and I won't have any way to, I believe, to access that if I get sent, And I honestly don't think that they're, it's not like the charges are super serious. I just used my mouth. Remember, I didn't hurt anybody. I didn't assault anybody. I didn't shoot anybody. I didn't use a weapon. I wasn't armed. This was me just telling Elijah not to stop the vehicle. Yeah, so that's what it is. That's what it is. They're either just being facetious, and it's God making them. It's Father making them do it. You know what I'm saying? It's Father making them do it. So I'm not mad at them. I'm not mad at them. I'm seriously not mad at them. I want to go look for my son now. I want to figure out if he just doesn't want to talk to me so I can move on with my life, even if I have to go to jail for a little while. Even if I go to jail for a while, Ziggy, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not settling for that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not settling this case. I'm still going to have to pursue this case, even if they wrongfully convict me. But I need to find out where my son and daughter are at and move on in that portion of my life. This is something that Father has just been brutal to me. As you see, he menaces me. Father menaces me. Hold on, I'm going to take a couple blankets. But it'll work out, whatever way. Even if I go to jail, it'll be something that'll happen, man. Like I said, I'm still sitting here in limbo. Hard to believe. I'm still sitting here in limbo 18 fucking months later. I'm still sitting here in limbo. I haven't even had my attorney call me. Nobody's ever called me. Remember all those calls I've made? I've made hundreds of phone calls. Now I can't even get my son to call me or my daughter. There's been more people added to my list that won't call me. It's insane in the membrane. Insane in the brain. So my major concern is now it's Pants, Mr. Boy, and that he's already struggling. So I can't even imagine if I was gone, he would get a little, it's actually a little worrisome for me now. God worries me like I was worried about Tango. I don't know why Father passed this on with him. I thought I wouldn't have to worry about him, but yeah, I'm getting a little, his demeanor is a little, it's off. Like I said, he's still, Tango was the one who kind of whined a little bit, real talkative. Pants wasn't very, every once in a while he whimpered a little bit. He's whining a lot now. He whines all the time, and he'll slow down, but he just gets a little bit, you know what I'm saying? No, I couldn't change it to go. No, I can't reset all that up. I don't have the time to set up AdSense. It took me forever. I can't see, I can't. I mean, it took me a while to get the AdSense set up. I always struggle with everything electronic, and that would be because it goes through me. So that's not possible. I don't think through AdSense. Yep. I'll probably try to bring my bank card with me, at my time of rest. I'll bring my bank card, that, whatever, if that happens in the courtroom, I'll have my wallet on me. So I'll bring my bank card. Maybe they'll let me. I don't know. There's no way to use a bank card. If they put me in jail, I don't have any way to, but maybe I could give somebody else that bank card and have them go draw it out of my account and give them the PIN or something and do it that way. So it's not impossible, to do, but that's if I have Kevin. I don't know. Not sure what Kevin's going to do. Kevin might, I don't know what Kevin's going to do. Kevin can do whatever he wants. Man, I feel sore. There's those stoves. I'm trying to be. Man, I'm sore. What the hell? I was lifting those wood stoves up yesterday. I mean, he brought the tractor out, but still, I had to move them all the way back and shuffle them all the way back in the inside the. And that hip was the one that I freaking slid and fell on. So, like, dude, I'm freaking sore again. Why? Well, dumbass, you slid on your freaking hip, and then yesterday you loaded 2 wood stoves in the back of the. That little smaller wood stove was weighed more than the big one. He's like, which one do you want to put in first? You want to do the small one? Because it was the heavy, and I do the heavy stuff first. And I just think in size. So I'm like, well, let's do the big one, And then, damn, that smaller one was, that stove is not that much bigger, but it is, probably another 3-4 inches on the face across. That smaller stove weighed more. I bet you that smaller stove weigh over almost 400 pounds. It is solid, man. That thing is a little tank. So, yeah, it's like, man, the hell, I went and got fire, it's a couple pieces, split some firewood. I had my last log, then I split my last piece of firewood. And there was another big piece, and it was kind of weird angle. So I went and swung that axe going, what the hell, man? I'm not doing it. Yeah. We'll see. I just want to come in here and stay warm. And like I said, I'm just trying to buy my time now. Oh, yes, I'm buy my time here. The days will tick away. Tomorrow's the 13th, so 11 days. Tomorrow will be 52. Be a Gemini date for me. Whatever it is, everything's like that for me. Our Father does everything by the number. I wish you'd put your paws down. Thank you. Thank you. You don't need to give me paws. Why don't you come over here with me? You just want to look at Dad? You just want to look at your dad? You were a good boy yesterday. You went with the dad to the town, huh? We went to band. I didn't want to stay in there. We could have stayed there longer, but I'm glad we didn't, so we could go get those wood stoves, huh? Father's timing was perfect. Father's timing was perfect. So. But I am looking forward to try to go somewhere in my life here. I know this sounds crazy, even if it is to jail, so I can get past this somehow. Would I not look for my son until I get out of jail? You know what I'm saying? It was okay. Like I said, town wasn't too bad. Ben's not a bad town. There was I was going to go to Olive Garden, and I didn't go, and I went to Chick-fil-A because I thought I could tolerate that, and I went to McDonald's because there was like people, I don't eat McDonald's, but I went to McDonald's and gave my food. There were some people outside, so I gave my food away. And then I kept some because I kept the strips and thinking, I thought they were like some kind of chicken. Well, I should have known it's a McDonald's. There's some look like a duck leg or something, I don't know there. they're all just some flaked and formed things. So I gave those to the chickens. But I went to Red Robin and I ate there, and I ate about a third of the burger. It wasn't as big as I thought it was going to be. Maybe half of it, not quite half. And then I gave the rest to Bones because he was riding with me. So he liked it. He ate the burger. Um, I'm not going to give them McDonald's. I ain't going to feed that to my dog. I fed it to the chickens. They can process it, but I'm not going to feed it even to the dogs. Not fries, not chicken strips, not no. So, but I gave the McDonald's away. The breakfast um, and orange juice and hash browns because I know, like I said, there was somebody standing there outside the. Uh, there's not a lot. It was really strange to see that, but I think it's because it was Veterans Day that there was a couple. There was. I think I saw maybe 3 or 4 people. We don't really ever see that a whole lot in Bend. People, asking for money. Um, but I went to Jimmy John's because I thought I could get like a steak sub or something like that. And they were giving away, they said on their website, they were giving away uh, a card and that you had until May to use it. And then they didn't, Chick-fil-A didn't honor they said, no, we're not doing it. So there were places that said online, their online things that they were doing it. Like, I don't know how, but I thought Texas Roadhouse, it even showed in Bend, and then we don't have one in Bend. I don't know if it was here and shut down. So um, my idea was hoping to come home with like a gift card. I know this sounds funny too, but just something I didn't have to go there and sit down and eat. I didn't go to the 2 taverns that I wanted to go. They were like a tavern bar that had really nice big tavern burgers. That one's called a tavern, right? Their tavern burger that had bigger from Red Robin. I'm telling you, the burger was only about that big. It wasn't, and I didn't need to be gluttonous or anything, but so I stopped there. I stopped at Chick-fil-A and they didn't do it, and then Jimmy John's didn't do it, and then who else? But I did eat Red Robin, and I did eat Wendy's because I went to Wendy's. I don't eat fast food, and I went and got a chicken sandwich from them, a honey chicken sandwich. Oh yeah, there's all kinds of. Ben has some good dispensaries. I mean, they sell crap here too, but there is some dispensaries where you can actually get some real non-gene edited cannabis here. So yeah, we probably have 30 to 50 dispensaries across Bend. There's quite a few dispensaries in Bend. Yeah. So I go to the one in Lapine. I go to the HD Botanicals because I know where their growers, they have the best, but they have some of the better. Tokyo Starfish is a good high-end dispensary that doesn't have that high-end nonsense to it, and you can actually get some real cannabis from there. And there's several of them. Bend is a high up end town. The average home sells for $800,000. Every third home sold for $1 million. It's not it's not that kind of town. Bend is a nice ass town. I don't like to say that, or city, because I don't like to say that about any city. But even when Kevin's like, dude, Tracy, Bend reminds me of like Denver in the 90s, 80s and the 90s. Yeah, they really take their, and I go to Green Knots, which is kind of a local guy that only sources the local growers. It's all a local thing. And he offers like $25 ounces to people. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? But they have it in enough, but bigger. And it's bees. If you know what bees are, it's not top shelf. And I don't do none of that. I don't care about none of that designer pot. That's what it is. Yeah. That's what I call it. Designer weed or whatever. God damn, this right eye's bother me today. Apologize. But they don't do a lot of that. They have just a lot more normal at the Green Knots. So those are really the only 3 dispensaries that I have ever really frequent. Because I try to get it either, somebody I know locally who's growing it, or from a grower directly, and not tap the dispensary. That way they don't get the tax, you know what I'm saying? And it is legal. So I've grown mine, you know what I'm saying? I'm chooching on my own herbs here, which is yummy. Hey, thank you so much, Ziggy, for all your moderating here, for, the hours you spend in here. You're an asset to the channel. Appreciate the moderation. Keeping the junk out of here, the swine, the pig shit. Oh, yeah, the pig poop. So it's not a pig pen. We sweep the pig poop out of here. So. But the herbs that I grew turned out good. I like them, and it's always nice to do it when you do it yourself, because I know mine is organic. I grew mine with chicken poop, organic sugar, and organic honey. That's it. That's all they ever have. And I probably only fertilized them like 4 or 5 times their whole life. That's it. And not very much, but just organic poop from the chicken poop pen, and made a soup with it, let it do its thing, and made a tea, made it turn into tea, and strained it, and organic sugar and organic honey, man. 4 or 5 times. That's it. They don't have all this other nasty stuff. These gene edited it to begin with, and then they, start adding all these chemicals to it, and it's horrible. My body does not like that. I'm telling you, what happens to my body more times than not, I have this mass effect from things that are not organic. What it is I get the hiccups. I know it sounds crazy, especially opiate derivative. Anything, if you put opium in my body, I get the hiccups bad. And I have a lower back problem, and is what it is, but it's from. And so try getting the hiccups for 3, I've had the hiccups for 5 days in a row, nonstop hiccups. I go to bed and in my sleep, hiccuping. They don't go away. I mean, it is bad. I get a major, and that hurts. That wears your body out. Try hiccuping like in a constant, and you can kind of slow it down and not actually let it come out, but your body still wants to, do that, that kind of like a rivet, whatever, the hiccup, whatever, a rivet, a hiccup. But you see what I'm saying? No, I don't want that. So, when I have things that are foreign and I take foreign things, my body can tell, because I'm naturalist. Whatever people like, dude, you're a hippie, dude. And I'm like, whatever, that's not like the worst thing in the world. I don't want a label, but a hippie, like, not like peace hippie. They're like, not like peace, and like the way you live like a hippie, man. You live like everything's got to be organic. You don't like anything that's man-made, and the way you live, you build everything out of repurposed stuff, and all your stuff. The guy came over the other day and looked at the flatbed. He's like, dude, are those cannonballs? On the wood stove. Like, he's like, those are real cannonballs. Yeah, can I have? And I was like, yeah. He was like, dude, your stuff in here, dude. Like, dude, I don't like stuff. I don't. He's like, but it's just so weird. Everything's so. Man, this is the kind of stuff I like. I'm like, cool. I like that, because he's like, none of it's new. There's nothing new in here. Everything's repurposed. It's all, so, I just live. I like that lifestyle. It's a better way to go. You got to go back to the old ways, are going to be the new ways, but you use the tech, high-tech redneck. That's what I am, remember? High-tech redneck. So that's what I do. Yeah, I ate my chicken eggs this morning, from that egg sandwich was fabulous. So even Mr. Bone got a bite, the last bite. He gets the last bite. We got to treat him, give him lots of treats, because there was lots of times, too, throughout his life that Mr. Big got a bite, and he didn't. He just is more timid like that. So even when I give him a bite, he just... you try to give him a treat, he thinks he does something wrong, and he never does anything wrong. He's never done anything wrong. He's near perfect dog. So don't want to feed him a bunch of crap. There's a reason why Big lived for as long as he lived, because we made sure he didn't get people food in his body, because it's hard on them. They don't need monosodium glutamate and maltodextrin and try whatever, you know what I'm saying. All of these these are preservatives. We shouldn't be eating this stuff, let alone giving it to our dogs. So I try to keep that stuff out of my animal's body as much as possible. But one bite here and there. Yes, Shaquila. And actually, when you start trying to warm a bird up, that's actually a bird that has hollow feathers and hollow bones, and you know what I'm saying, that's how they stay insulated, is their feathers. Absolutely. You see, I worked on their. I should put a couple hours in on that thing today, and not be. I gotta go. Yeah. See, I've been just doing other things around the property, but they're staying warm in there. They're fine. I'm even overdoing it now, but I want to finish what I did and make it nice. I didn't do it to. I have a purpose. Everything I do, I don't do anything without purpose. I have a hard time doing that. It was so hard to go to town yesterday, and I'm so glad that when I went to town, I ended up picking up 2 beautiful wood stoves. Expensive wood stoves too. Father, gave in abundance. He must have a plan for them. Hallelujah. So more cabins. I want to do these cabins. I want to leave, but maybe I won't. I don't know. I don't want to make plans right now like that, because God will, Father, just crush them. But maybe for more cabins. I mean, I have 2 more wood stoves, and I have another arrow like this one, and I have another big, there's woods all over around. I'm surrounded by the woods right off the wood line. 15 minutes, 20 minutes, you could be cutting wood, 30 minutes deep into the piles where they already have them, but I'm not far from, I'm right off the wood line. I'm 3 miles from trees, 2 miles from the tree line, because remember, I'm right down in here where this all got filled up during the flood. This sprayed all this valley. That's why we have these fissures. These opened up, and it spit that water in here, and it was compression event, and it pissed the water out. You can see it's called crack in the ground. If you ever get a chance, you should come out here and enjoy the ministry. And people are missing out. This place is a gem. There's a lot of no, the desert's just that way. You know what I'm saying? No. Seriously, Sheila, like, I'm right here off the trees, right into the lush forest. I mean, I'm right on the edge of it, right on the, you know what I'm saying? I'm right on the edge of it. So I can be in 15 minutes and be in thick, start getting in, then big, just because it's a high desert. So it doesn't have, like, on the other side of the mountain, the Cascades, it's real ferns. But it doesn't take long to get to that either. You know what I'm saying? To that side of the Cascades. This place is a gem. It's an absolute gem. This high desert, I just already kind of help me get myself centered here. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm out here in the high desert. Remember when I came here when I was real young? I'm like, I gotta be there. That's where I gotta be. I love that place. I love it. I moved up there with my mom and came up here because I was coming up here in the 80s. You know what I'm saying? Yes, that's what I like about those, though. That side of the Cascades, it's so dark and wet and furs and damp, but it's not survivable, even though you have it. You know what I'm saying? I like that said moist. That's a better way to put that, because they are. It's not a dry. They're dry forest over here. They're wet forest over here. Hallelujah. You know what I'm saying? Thick forest. They're hard to get through, blackberries and, just everything growing through the thick ferns and, but I love going into the forest and just laying down and don't even care if the bugs crawl on me or nothing. I just, the furs and the, mushrooms everywhere. Exactly. I was just going to say that the mushroom spore, it's in the air. You feel the spore over there. They actually called Lane County. that area over there, that valley, because it's kind of a valley over there too, was the valley of sickness or the valley of death because of the moisture over there is what they call Lane County. It's the largest county in Oregon. Lake is the second, Lane is the first. It goes all the way from like the I-5 corridor, Eugene, all the way over to the coast. That is, oh, absolutely. Absolutely. They're a different kind of, see, they don't feel like that. I don't mean to go there, but Minnesota woods are kind of because I've been to all 50 states. Dark, but not, almost like a dreary. I don't mean to say that. Is that the right word for it? You nailed the Oregon for us. Dark, but dreary. Yeah, dreary or boring. There we go. Boring, dreary. Yeah. There we go. See, dreary, boring. We were kind of on the same sheet of music there. You know what I'm saying? Dreary or boring. They're not. The forests over here are alive, and the life and the spores, and there's insects and birds, and it's full of animals, wildlife. It's a life over there. The forests are almost dead. There's life out there, but it's like a scat. It's like everything just barely surviving, and yeah, lots of thicket, and lots of the thicket and lots of thorn. We have blackberries over here, but not yeah, exactly. Well, remember, all of Oregon has been replanted. All of Oregon, right? Okay, but Oregon is too. So Oregon, all of Oregon. We don't have our sequoias or redwoods. There is some old growth in Oregon, but we don't have. I'm saying, we don't have those. That was all taken out of Oregon. Everything you see in Oregon, but they're hundreds of years old, and Oregon is the best state. Probably better than anywhere. It's the oldest place. Shaquila, do you know this is the oldest place? We'll say for now, because they're at least now this in what they say, the Northern Hemisphere. They've already announced that Oregon is the oldest place. Remember, I don't do the ball thing, but whatever. We'll play a little ball camp. This one time in ball camp, right? That this is the oldest place in the Northern Hemisphere. They already said that Oregon is. It's the only state that gematria equals 33. There is something special about Oregon, that I don't care what anybody says. Look at what this state did. This state, and I don't care. I don't like none of these politicians, how we do that here. But Kotek told them to go, or Kotex or whatever, told them to, no, it's Kotek, told them to use the National Guard to protect the protesters and not the government. That is epic, man. This state is kicking ass, man. This state rocks and kicks every other ass's state in a lot of ways. Not that any state is, I'm just saying, because the way that and here we got our own issues, but people live free here. You know what I'm saying? If they'll get the hell away from the cities, you know what I'm saying? Yes. And that's what's so beautiful here. Exactly, Sheila. We have so many, so gematria is everything to me. And I like it because I'm a numbers guy. So hallelujah. Thank you, sister. Appreciate when you come in. But I'm saying, it is because, well, that means everything to me. 33, Christ was 33. We have 33, spinal vertebrae. The oil is supposed to reach the Christo, the Holy of Holies, not a third eye. Our pineal gland, we need to keep that antenna, open and have that relationship. And so when you go to a place like the woods, that freaking is just like, whoa, the ether is real. The ether is real there. There you feel the real ether. That's where it is. The ether isn't as strong, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, but we know why, though. I told you why. I hope you understand why. Just what I just told you. You have 33 spines. That's why they do their space worship. That Jacob's ladder. I think you're mature enough. You've been here. I don't want to go off. See, do you feel the ether? You don't feel that ether in the forest. It's there. It's there in Minnesota. The ether is there. I would die to be, in the forest there and just trudge through and get through. There are spots opening just like there's metal, it's not all thick like that, but you don't have the life like you have here, and you don't have the ether. The ether is so strong. in the redwoods, it's all the way up and down this I-5 corridor too, just so you know. It's this whole Pacific Northwest. I'm telling you, Sheila, you don't have to go. I mean, you know, you don't have to just be in Oregon, but Oregon is so beautiful because it has like the all four. It's like the difference between having California and Washington. We have it all here. The beauty of those, the only thing they do is they stripped out all that large original old growth. So you feel that. That's why I think you feel the ether here. When you go out into the forest, you just get strong, and your breath, every breath feels pure. You feel the air is pure. This is one of the purest places there is for air, though, too. Oregon has some of the cleanest air on the whole rock. Truly does. You know, Oregon is a living, breathing, you know, itself, kind of its own four climates, you know, in its own. And that's why I like being, yeah. There's some things we don't have that they don't have back east, you know, that's kind of a bummer, you know, lightning bugs. And, you know, I remember back east, there's, you know, where you talk about, there's some different, you know, but it's here is just, yeah, do. How would you go like, I could breathe. Oh man, I used to go, Shaquila, imagine this. Imagine going from LA, from Smell A, out of the pudding. I'd fly out of here or whatever, because when I was young, or I'd drive, or, you know, but go, and especially when you know, and come up to, because I think you've been here maybe before. My cousin, whatever, got kicked out of LA, whatever, for fighting, and it's just the way of life down there. It's where we grew up. It's just grow up in the concrete jungle, rolling around, wrestling, fighting. It wasn't beat the brakes off people back then, but it brought my mom up here, which is beautiful. Later, after, you know, because my grandma actually came up. My mom stayed down there, but my grandma came up here first, and then brought my cousin up here, and that's how my family's got rooted in Oregon, because we weren't from here. We were from LA. We were from, you know, down south by the border, and, you know, but it was the, you know, but anyways, it's a blessing, because later my mom came up here, and I would go from LA, right? Yeah, the waterfalls, you know, yeah, no, it's that's what I'm saying. There's just so much breathtaking beauty, the waterfalls. Like, so that's what I'm saying. I really wish we had more people here. I don't know why Father didn't give me an abundance, Shaquille, if you'll just let me vent and be a piss and moan and be a crybaby. Man, it would suck if we had 5 or 6 or 8 people here from this ministry, because I know there's a lot of us that want kind of the same thing, kind of like what I want. It's just hard to make it happen. We could go just get the chores done for the day and just go scout waterfalls. You know, there are literally, you know, 100 lakes behind, you know, there's more, or those that hike in lakes behind the Cascades that are just natural hikes, that you have trailheads that you can hike into, go throw a pole in the water and fish, and, you know, and just for natural, organic, cutthroat, brown trout, you know, brook trout, real native, you know, even real rainbow, not stock, you know, and probably just throw them back, but just the experience and get in there in the woods. These are, and even over here, which it's beautiful. Like I said, if you get up here up in the Cascades, you start getting into some of that side. I'm not sure if you've ever been over here on this side. You get into some of that thick forest, but you got to get thick up into that Cascade, and it gets kind of thick up there. It's like a blending of between. It's unreal too. It has its own. And so I remember when I would come up here, you know what I'm saying? That when I would come from LA, right, and I come up here, the air, I love coming up here, because I remember I never did that again. One time I got a bad grade. One time I got a bad grade, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I got a bad grade when I was young, and my dad didn't let me come up here. And I learned my lesson, because he worked me like a horse, you know, in the desert. And we lived in the LA desert down there. We lived in the Santa Clarita Valley in Canyon Country. You know, that's right, you know, right out of the San Fernando Valley, right up the road to the Santa Clarita Valley. It's still LA County, but, you know, and he worked me like a freaking horse. And he didn't let me see my mom that year, and I didn't get to go visit her. I get so upset. I think the next year or the following year, I went and moved with her for a while, live with her. And then and then I had to move back, but he died not long after. But I can remember coming up here and and getting that fresh air, because it was a breather. Kind of love coming up here. Although what I loved about this, what I wasn't used to, is, well, where I grew up was, there wasn't all the seasons where I grew up. LA, it's just pretty much, it was sunny all year, if that makes sense. I mean, we didn't really get a season down there. It's just, does that make sense? So when I came up here and I saw a winter, a spring, a summer, a fall, I was like, whoa, that is freaking this sunny all year bullshit. I like that change in the fall and the cold and the dampness in the air, that my body had never felt dampness in the air, moisture, I never felt that before. Going into that, like you say, going into the woods and everything's in there breathing because it's moist, I grew up in the hot, high, so hot it'd take your breath away hot, and I'm a Scorpizzo, so I could walk around on the damn concrete at 110 degrees, whatever, with my bare feet when I was young, and didn't bother me at all because that's where I grew up. Plus, I'm a Scorpizzo, so it makes sense. But anyways, that's what I like about this area. I've been, and I'm not saying that people can't travel to other states. It's like, that's why I think I'm, yeah, you see what I'm saying? You guys, people, we get, if you've been around them, you don't know, but if you've been somewhere where you didn't have the seasons like that, LA, I know that kind of sounds silly, but it's kind of just sunny all year long, and, do you need to go outside, buddy? Oh, I can let my puppy out. He's over by the door. You want to go? You want to go outside for a minute? You've been spending lots of time with Dad. Go outside for a minute. Go, buddy. Good boy. But yeah, some people never get to experience that, in different parts. People grow up in deserts. People go up where it's, always cold because they grow up in colder climates, Arctic, more northern. I've lived in Alaska. I know what it's like to be cold, and have, that bone chilling, but the reason why too, that I really pick over here too so much, that I like, is that it's a high desert. So as a desert, you get kind of the best of both worlds here. You don't get the sticky moisture where you get a lot of that back east. You guys are getting bombed. Your winters back there is getting crushed. You guys are getting hammered compared to where we got a mild here. We haven't, I'm just not going to say anything. I'm just not going to say it. It's been mild here so far. And that's because of that polar vortex that keeps pushing down on you guys. It's just the La Nina cycle is all it is. It's just a cycle. It just creates that push that pushes that air, and then you get that Pineapple Express that comes up, through the monsoons and comes up and hits you guys. You guys just get pounded over there, and then you're in the Minnesotas. You guys are, I know that's, you get bit by that Arctic tongue, and it comes and licks you guys a lot. You can, yep, there you go. There you go. There you go. So that's where I grew up. You know what I'm saying? I grew up in smelly, smelly in the fog. You're flown in and out of there. You fly into the pudding. And you're like, oh my God, brr, fly to LAX. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. But anyways, we all get kind of stuck in our own little worlds. That's good that you got out to travel. Outstanding. Thank you, Father, for giving, skill, the ability to see something other than this freaking disgusting American corporation country. There's a lot of other places that are beautiful too, other than this country. But man, if you got to be here, Oregon is a beautiful state. Every state has beauty in it. The nature is kind and amazing, and well, nature is not always kind, but it is. It's beautiful. It's, we don't mess with it. It normally won't mess with us. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm hoping here Father will give me a little bit of a leeway too here soon and get me off the ground here, and because nobody came here, I will just unattach myself from this whole idea of this ministry farm, and I'll take it in a different direction as far as the homestead. You know what I'm saying? And just do it in a different fashion. It's not that I still can't share the ministry. I'm actually trying to keep that other property now. And if my son's not going to move on it, I do want to push my hip camp over there and offer people, remote camping. It's getting a little too big here in this little country western town we got here at Silver Rock Ranch. These people don't have that feel that they once had when I put them over where Kevin brought that property over there. People come hip camp here and have, with no buildings. It feels better when you're kind of out in the middle of nowhere. I know I'm just not getting the reviews. People used to leave me a lot of good reviews, and I'm not getting reviews because I think there are just too many buildings around them to have that remote experience. It's like they're in this little country town, and I think that a lot of hip camp is to come out in the middle of nowhere. And it does say it's more of a dark sky sanctuary. So, um, anyways, I should probably not stay on here, get up and get something done here, go work on that lady's cage a little bit, get some more boards and get the door. And I have a window to look for. I went to look for them the other day and didn't find. I've got a couple windows here somewhere and I can't seem to find them. But I got to locate a couple windows. I'd like to put a window in that lady's chicken coop there for those ladies, and have them, uh, serve ventilation as well. I'd like to seal it up, but use my window as the ventilation. Um, you know, I'm not going to seal it up 100%, but I'm trying to make it so they can stay extra, extra warm. I like to take care of my animal husbandry is important to me. Take care of my livestock, so they take care of me. They keep laying me awesome eggs and whatnot. So, anyways, it looks like we've worn this stream out here. They're just banning everybody. We're back to nobody's in here, and there's more people in here. So we won't let YouTube do that to us. That's kind of what they do here. So I'll come back on maybe before the end of the day, and we do have some. I didn't really talk about it much, but I don't care. Some more energy coming from the sun. The grid could go down at any time, guys. The sun could heat the magma under the rock that we walk and pop, and there goes volcanism as part of this cycle. And be ready for that, because the grid could go down any day. That could happen at any time. That could just be the sun. It doesn't have to be nefarious, some EMP with some satellite exploded in the upper, in the upper atmosphere. It could be is the sun does it, and it has done it in a cycle. So be ready. I mean, we just had KP8 G4 geomagnetic storm, so I feel blessed for this interweb to even be working right now. So go get the things you need, because you never know. Any day, be prepared, and preparedness is a lifestyle, so you won't do it in haste and try to do it just do things methodically. Be ready, prepare you either way. So thank you, Father. I don't think these people realize how important the times are we live in. We're starting, we see auroras at equatorial regions. That's not normality. So this is nowhere near normality, or reality is gone, freedom lost. Most people are just, they're pornea, that's what they do. Their agape is pornea. So the book's coming to fruition. So, all right. Thank you for your time. Sheila, appreciate it if you're still in here. And I will, okay, so you got to see, it was banning my chat. Thank you for banning my chat, YouTube. So is that the first time you ever seen the aurora? Have you ever seen the aurora? That's not a good thing. That means that solar radiation is penetrating through our protective magnetic canopy, and one of these days it's going to whack us and take our grid down, and there's not going to be any more. That's the only time? Have you seen it once before, or is that the first time you've ever seen it? Is this your first time? Did you? I don't mean to go there like that and be crude. Did you get your cherry pop? Because I'll tell you, it'll make you feel like. Okay, so you have. You remember the first time? Okay. It was probably not that long ago that happened. So these aren't normal events, Sheila, just so you know. We're not supposed to be having equatorial auroras with X, 4 or 5. That should be an X30 to make that push down. Okay, so they're amazing. I mean, I've seen, because I lived in Alaska, so I've got to see them. That just they're mind numbing. But that's not a good thing. They're so beautiful, but that is showing that the magnetic canopy that protects us from the sun is failing. So there's a reason why I have a shelter 3 stories down, down, where I'm from at, to get away from, energy from the sun too. You need some space, some dirt on top of you, 6, 8, 10 feet, some protective layer. That's why I have that. It's wrapped in a culvert that takes, and it's not going to allow that. So it's a cycle though. And what it will do is, I realize, I've talked about this on this ministry before, is that there's something that's going to have to reset our magnetic canopy. You know what I'm saying? I know. See, I've been trying to get you guys to get to figure out where that's at. There are places I need you to go wherever you're at. Even in Minnesota, there's cavernous places. You need about 6 to 8 feet of dirt on top of you, and you should be able to make it through. They've always made it through these cycles, because when the sun does this, they get under the ground. Even if we go into a nuclear winter and we get the sun pops and it blots out the sun, that's why they're boring into the ground, going into the geothermal, where the temperature of this rock stays the same because it's geothermal. So I try to get everybody 10 years to come out here and start living like that, trying to get everybody ready to live like that. And Father just didn't send anybody. So I've got Kevin, so that's fine. I mean, he hasn't dug in, but he's welcome, to come here where I've got, he's going to use the one I have. He don't need to dig anything. This is for him. So, hailstones, the weight of a talent, that's still that event that's going to happen from the Honga Tonga. That's still all that moisture that's stuck up in our atmosphere that nobody wants to talk about, that I feel like I'm the only one that talks about. That event's going to come because the scripture says so. And I think that everything in that book will say exactly what it says is going to happen in that book will happen. So we will see, 100 plus, 129, almost 30-pound hailstones. You're going to need about 6 to 8 feet of dirt on top of you at that point in time. Probably still make some loud thuds. If you're, if you could have a little more up there, it'd be a little better. But, time's going to come where if you don't get underneath the ground, you're not going to make it. And I'm not talking about going down to their FEMA camps or none of their work camps that they got down there too, because there's a whole underground and a whole underworld that people do not know on the surface. That does exist, and it has for thousands of years. They've gotten away from these cycles. There are underground cities that were built before any one of us were ever born, hundreds and thousands of years ago, to write out these Yuga cycles is what they are. They're sun cycles of the Kali Yuga. Speaking of Kali, going back to Kali, that's what we're doing. We're going back to the Yuga cycle. We're already here. We're in the cycle of the apocalypse, the 12,000 year apocalypse, because we are in Revelation. We are in where the scripture exactly says the firmament told us where we'd be. We're in sorrows. I know, it's like, but it doesn't, and they know that. Why do you think they built those shelters? To get away from this cycle. Hail is part of the cycle. If you look during this compression event during the 1800s, Shaquilla, that's how I stumbled onto this. There were hailstones that were basketball size, not in record that you can find, like, because they said that I've done videos on this for a long time. I've done it here on YouTube and showing you that these cycles, are a cycle. When I caught on to this, cantaloupe, melon size hail, basketball was, that's where I found these cycles of the compression event in the 1800s that they know of that happens, and they get ready for it. And that's what causes either one of these volcanoes to pop, causes the event 6,000 years in the past. We're 6,000 years in the 12,000 year cycle now. 6,000 years ago, I told you can come out here and see that this rock went like this, and that this dirt opened up, it pissed out the water, as it was, the hot liquid magma opened up, and it literally, you can see it out here. I told you, you can go in this fissure. It's called Crack in the Ground out here, and it's an amazing freaking hike, man. There's so much it's just beautiful. It's just, it's just, it take you back to the time of Noah. Every time I go there, I feel, I have a different experience, I think, than most people, because I don't think they understand what they're looking at. But these are a compression event, and we have these compression events. That's why it causes these ice ages, and many, many ice ages that we go into. And so that's coming, and we're in one now. And that already started back in 2020 at the reset of the age in your lunar, pegging calendar. But that was the start of the apocalypse. That was the start of Revelation. I didn't say that. The book Firmament declared it, not I. When Saturn and Jupiter, remember? Saturn and Jupiter conjuncted each other. It was the sign and the stars that birthed the age. No, I didn't do that. The firmament declared it, not I. So you just have to have a magi or a wise eye, celestial eye, spiritual eye, celestial eye. There you go. Celestial eyes. Do you have celestial eyes to see? So anyway, I'm going to get out of here. You guys enjoy your day. I'm going to go do something. Be ready. The grid can go down at any time. Get some chickens, get some goats, get some sheep, get some rabbits, get some solar panels, get some water filters, get batteries. Yeah, it's Revelation, but not Revelations, but the book of Revelation. I am Pastor Revelation, not Revelations. But I hear you. All these things that are in that book will come to pass. That's what it says in the book of Revelation. Every jot and every tittle. That's what it says. So heaven and earth shall perish, but my word will never die. So there'll be a refining fire this time. That's what I was trying to tell you. Compression event. So that's why they have all their machines, to try to protect them from this. So try to get something done today. Again, you don't go to the store when they're closed. You know what I'm saying? You go when they're open. So I went to the store yesterday and spent some money I didn't have, but I needed to get baby wipes for my bathroom breaks, and just much better and cleaner that way. And I use them to obviously keep myself clean out here in between showers. So, and some more paper plates. So how many paper plates do you own? Paper plates keep the body parts clean. Lady parts and man parts that get stinky, you can use those wipes too, but you can use the extra water rather than do dishes. So if you don't have paper plates and you're hearing this message, that's my survival tip for all people in the future, because it makes sense to have that extra water to wash your parts instead of your dishes. So it's a survival. If you don't have paper plates, please go get some. I can't believe how much they were this time. They were $15 for that stack. Now it's a big stack, and that's worth it too, because I reuse them and stuff. But if you don't have paper plates, go get some for later, because just stick them in a cabinet. I mean, they're not, but that's going to save you a lot of water that you don't want to be washing plates. And you can get plastic utensils and wipe those down too. And kind of, I do, I don't use even regular utensils all the time. So I use plastic, because I'll grab half a handful of them when I go to the store. I shop there and spend money. They'll take 5 or 6 of them, whatever. Use those for, I'm a repurposed guy. Remember, I'm a minimalist, so I don't like to waste a single thing if I can help it. When you carry your own water, you'll appreciate every drop that you have. All right, enough preparedness tips for now. So, but definitely go get yourself some paper plates and try to tell everybody, let's not make a run on toilet. No, paper plates, right? But seriously, it's an excellent way to save water, and we don't have to worry about washing a plate, and you can use them multiple times, as I've shown that in here. So if you don't have them, that's probably one of the best preparedness tips, and I don't hear anybody else giving that preparedness tip. Water is the most important thing, so paper plates allow you to save a lot of water. So all right, Pastor Revelation, Pastor Apocalypse, links in the description if you want to support the ministry. Thank you for those other things that you gave, Shaquille. I'm not sure what those things are. And again, I probably won't be able to see any money on that if I'm in a cage, but it's okay. I'll figure it out. Thank you, Father, for giving, again, just one ear to hear and the eyes to see. Pastor Apocalypse. Whoa.